from there, yeah, the Solski has been practicing a lot of Metroid, and Caracarn picked this up. I don't know if it was on a whim or he just kind of likes randomizers that have active racing communities. So there's a weekly for this every week. One big thing that you'll notice that's different from the start here is that the planet starts awake. What that means is that the creatures are alive, and all of the doors are in the state that they are after picking up the morph ball in the vanilla Met game. But they'll always go straight to Link to the Past because the 20-some locations there.
Yeah, the so-called meme play into Blueprint start to check one item in logic and one item out of logic is pretty rare, but sometimes done if you're just trying to go for that early gamble and get an edge on your opponent.
And then we're seeing here Caracarn is doing a relatively normal strat of going straight to Uncle to grab his 2 items.
Solski, did he actually check out Link's house there and get the item? Because he's heading straight to the castle. Seems like I blinked and missed it. Anyway, that's a nice tree pull there, 4 bombs. Gets him set up for diving into Kakariko later, if he should so choose.
Solski did not miss Link's house. He just he is gonna save and reset later. Solski is the one who Caracarn went to there. But yeah, no, this is very common. You very rarely see runners go to Link's house if they go to Uncle first. He definitely did not miss it. It's closer to he opted, he's gonna check it eventually, like right here.
Okay, right, yeah. Makes sense. A bit quicker to save and crit today rather than take the 5 seconds walking over or so. You gotta find any time saves you can.
Just a reserve take.
Yeah, the kinda yucky tank of Super Metroid. It'll keep you alive, but not nearly as nicely and cleanly as a normal energy tank would.
Yep. So it's actually not a buddy tree pull. It's actually just the tree pull is because of the Octorok. While you're loading into SM, while you're loading into LTTP, apparently the Octorok can shoot off projectiles. They break. They count as an enemy for the tree pull, and so it progresses the tree pull.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's not actually a button. It's actually just that Octorok breaking his rocks on things near you, on screen and off.
The more I know. Just to
don't worry. Somebody only pointed this out to me, and I saw it in one chat not too long ago. It was very recent, but for the longest time, the conception was, or the perception was that it was a buddy tree. Well, it was starting at something, but then in some race, somebody came out of LTTP and came into LTTP and reset instantly, while the other person did the normal thing of checking the item at the lake, and they got different results even though they hadn't killed anything. So at that point, I think somebody probably looked into it a little further.
Right, so I've really never heard about the Octorok thing, which obviously confuses the tier pools even more. You said this was unique to the combo randomizer, right? Not the
Nope. The Octorok rots always count as an enemy kill for some odd reason. They are counted as enemies. There are a lot of things that are coded as enemies in this game. Anyone who's a fan of League of Legends will definitely know the code everything as minions meme. Where in that game it's a similar idea, is that a lot of things are coded in League of Legends as minions that aren't necessarily, minions like walls and stuff, are just very tight clusters of invincible minions. Oh, and in this game, some things are coded as invincible enemies, in a sense.
So we have got the morph bombs from the well, as well as a power glove in the Thieves' hideout in the Lost Woods, so those are pretty good early game items. We can't use those bombs yet because no morph ball. We're going to be looking for that sometime. But the bombs will be putting quite a lot of jumpy stuff in Super Metroid in logic. The tournament is running on normal logic, so only a few tricks are required for Super Metroid. One of them being the infinite bomb jump, which you can't really pull off with power bombs, but you can with normal bombs. And that is a lamp from a bottle fender, so again, more early game stuff in logic now. I picked up a couple of super missile packs so far. No power bombs yet, and obviously no morph ball. So probably going to be seeing quite a bit of Link to the Past progress to start off with. For now, our runners can pretty much get all the way through Eastern Palace, although they won't be able to get to the Almost Knight. They can also head up to Death Mountain and check the couple of items there, although... ooh, that's a sword on the library. I'd say something you probably would return for if you find the boots somewhere. We're going to get a check of Racing Game Just 5 missiles.
Amazing Afros corrected my terminology in chat. Much smarter guy when it comes to the technical aspects of these games. But yes, sprites is a better terminology for what some of these things are. Anything that isn't Link and is a sprite, as he says in chat, very similar concepts.
So Caracarn is diving into the back of Escape here, as is Solski. With that lamp, they can also check out the Dark Cross room in Logic, so if they find a small key here, they're probably going to be heading straight over to that room. So we've got $20, another $20, and a key. So yeah, Caracarn is heading straight down there.
The items are actually, not every item is on the tracker. For example, the lamp is not. As of right now, every item that's on the tracker has been updated. Even Morph Ball bombs are not on there because in Humble you just end up with so many power bombs you don't need them. There are a few times, like for example, if we find Varia and Morph Ball soon, I wouldn't be surprised if Bomb Jump becomes very relevant, as it can be required to access Bubble Mountain.
Indeed, and actually we have been adding a few things to the tracker this week, very courtesy of Diesel hard at work. For instance, we've merged the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod into one single icon, which has made room for the Pegasus boots. And we've also merged Ganon and Mother Brain into one unholy abomination of an icon, so that we now also have room for the flippers. So that was just a heart container in the Dark Cross room. Nothing important, although you still want those heart containers early game. Caracarn is maxing out his bombs, and it looks like he's going over to the Eastern Palace area rather than South Hyrule. Solski is right on his tail, but without picking up any additional bombs. He does have the one bomb for Shahrazrala's hut, though.
Yeah, I assume his plan is just break open Shahrazrala's hut and then go buy 10 bombs at a different time, or hoping that he gets bombs from Shahrazrala.
Yeah, we got a very quick map check there on Solski's side. I saw pendants at Eastern Palace and Tower of Hera. I did not see what was that desert. It's like, ooh, mirror.
We can get to Hera now.
It looks like our tracker did manage to catch all the Light World dungeons, and yeah, Desert Palace is a pendant too.
Why are there 3 pendants in the Light World? And why are they vanilla?
Is this even randomized?
Guys, what are we gonna see? I've never seen this, and I really hope it's a Morph Ball and Pet. I am normally not a guy who wishes for Pet. I'm normally a guy who's like, hey, it's a 2% chance, whatever. It's less even in this game. This is interesting. I am excited. We have access to 2 of the dungeons. We need to find the bow. We need to find the boots. We might not even need the boots. We might just need we need the book. And then, man, I'm really hoping.
If a runner's stuck at like Master Sword, they are definitely gonna go for that sword in the library for sure. Gold sword, optional but handy.
Breakdown put down the nightmare scenario of Moon Pearl and Ped, desert access through Lower Norfair. That is possible. That would require us to find both suits, though, before Moon Pearl.
Let's go deeper. We need boots to get our first sword. The pedestal has our second sword, Vanilla Master Sword. We have to use that to go up Aga Tower, and then find the Moon Pole on Pyramid.
And there's an ice beam. That's another way to get through a bunch of parts. This is interesting.
The ice beam is particularly useful if you're taking the upwards route through the Red Tower. Now, a lot of NMG runners are used to going up the Red Tower with just using wall jumps. It's a pretty hard technique and mostly used in what's called the new route in NMG. But with the ice beam, you can do it the developer intended way, which is just to freeze the rippers and jump your way up there using them as platforms.
Actually, generally, you'll see if anytime somebody goes up the tower. You're right. Thankfully, with high jump, it's a lot easier. Then you can technically do it with regular jump, maybe.
I think you can do it if you wall jump on your way.
I'm not quite sure. And there's a moon pearl.
I'm not quite sure.
Morph ball.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's our first sword in Eastern Palace Big Chest. Anyway, I'm not quite sure of the wall jump logic for going up Red Tower. Oh, there's a morph ball in Mini Modom Cave. Okay, that's
I think you need to reset. I think you're a little bit behind because I saw that morph way before you did. That's why I cut you off. I was like, morph ball.
Yeah, let me just refresh.
Yeah, that's huge. So yeah, no, this is definitely going to be a early Super Metroid entry. No, and the longer we go, like the more likely this is. That's got to be on their minds. Like it's got to be on their minds, even if they don't think that's a good chance. And now I'm really sad that I'm gonna have to probably leave in an hour. I've gotta look after a little one because my life is a lie and I don't own my own life. I am the subject of the wills of other people.
So that's just the nature of family at Christmas. Anyway, so we haven't found any power bombs yet, but with a morph ball and the bombs, we can actually check out a lot of items in the Super Metroid right now. It's going to be much more in our runners' minds than deciding to go to the blind pool, that's the pet pool that they can do in Link to the Past right now. So Solski is heading into the front of Escape. Where did he pick up that cane? I'm not paying enough attention. Anyway, he has a red cane, so he's going to be zapping the guards in there with that and his last few bombs. Oh, the samurai. Right, I was so distracted by the morph ball in Mini Modom that I missed the samurai.
I'm pretty sure that the Chance Mario came first, but was like, my brain instantly went, morph! Who cares? They're gonna exhaust all their options in Light World though before they head to Death Mountain. Sorry, before they head to I can't remember the name of the world. What's the name of the world in Metroid? It's Metroid.
Planet Zebes.
Ah, Zebes.
Yeah, some people call it Zebes, I call it Zebes. I don't think there's any official pronunciation guide for it, so use whatever you like. And as long as it starts with a Z or a Z, you're okay.
Yeah, not a lot is voice acted, even in the later Metroid games. Being cool if all the... Sorry, go ahead.
I think they started using voice acting in the original Metroid Prime, and not the North American version. They added like an opening narration when the game starts in the European version, saying, "Samus is a famous bounty hunter, and this is going to be another story in her tale." And that was literally it as far as voice acting goes.
Yeah, and the first game with like decent amount of voice acting was the other M. To most people's chagrin. Even like Metro Prime 3, I don't think had voice acting. Would have been cool if the I don't think there's anything there, but I wonder if he's gonna abandon it or not.
Yeah, there was nothing in the. Oh, well, hang on. Was the fighter sword in the Ice Water Cave? Because yeah, that would be pretty nasty to leave behind.
What was?
I think it was the fighter sword in the Ice Water Cave.
Oh no, just Caracarn has the fighter sword.
That's Caracarn. Yeah, Caracarn has a fighter sword. Solski hasn't got it yet.
Yeah, okay. And he is abandoning that. That item will be left for very late, probably when he has like, because he has a mirror, so he can get it when he's in Meridia.
So we got a little bit of synchronized high-fiving going on here, as Solski is also going to check out that tree pool for the bombs. So we can get up to Tower of Hera. We cannot get over to East Death Mountain, but with that lamp we can pretty much clear all of Tower of Hera. Might be a bit more difficult for Solski because he doesn't actually have a means of hurting Moldorm right now, should he choose to actually clear the dungeon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes with this. Probably hoping for a sword. Hey, he's going to get one. I wonder if Caracarn will do Adja before or after checking North or Zebed's.
Caracarn shoves the dead rock
He almost-
cave there, so
Yeah, I was
we
gonna say-
can't go just yet.
He almost sent that. He almost sent him into Norfair. The guy stopped just before. Oh no!
Oh dear.
This pet dream is becoming truth.
There's some power bombs in Spectacle Rock, so we're probably going to go back for those power bombs because that will be our first pack. Nope, Caracarn's skipping it for now. He wants that.
Oh no,
Burnt bomb.
they'll do Hera first, then do it. Then they can save and reset. It's gonna be faster that way and more convenient. 'cause
Yeah.
Oh,
and
my goodness, that book opens up a lot.
Okay, that was an extremely quick Dark World check, and I saw a red crystal at Skullwoods, and I don't know where the other red crystal was.
Okay, so we're
Oh,
gonna
hey, we
see-
get to check the tablet instantly.
Yeah. Oh, it's super missiles. So Solski will be a little disappointed he doesn't get those 5, but
Okay, so we are going to get a full Tower of Hera clear from both of our runners. That sword was extremely convenient for Solski. Oh, there's Quake. Caracarn is ducking out. Okay. I guess he really wants to check Super Metroid now.
well, Roadman, next iteration of this, you can pick whatever sprite you want.
Caracarn goes back in Spectacle Rock, forgetting that he just checked this item about a minute ago. And yeah, he's going for the power bombs now.
Interesting. He's doing that before Hera. I wonder what his idea is. I'd almost check pedestal like right away because I think it's really important to know if pedestal is Moon Pearl. He's saving quit in. It's faster to save and quit in. Go back to the mountain cave. Yeah.
With the items he's got right now, he can pretty much get through all of Green Brinstar and get down to Norfair that way if he so chooses. And it's usually a better idea to be checking out Green Brinstar because you've got no heated rooms to deal with there, and you can just make your way through pretty quickly. Although Caracarn is proving me a complete lie at the moment, and he's going from the Norfair side. So a check you often see runners make here is that they come to this room, pick up the item here. Then they spend a lot of time trying to kill the Nova that goes down the wall there, and they have to wait ages for it to come back and then kill it. But with this early morph ball, we can just check out the high jump boots on their way too. Oh, that's a grapple there. That puts a lot more places in Super Metroid in logic right now, such as the X-ray room. So Caracarn can do that on his way up through, if he decides to go back to Green Brinstar through that way, up in the Red Tower. But it also puts some other nasty things there in logic, like the pedestal of Super Metroid, Shack Tool. Anyway, Solski takes down Moldorm with taking a little bit of damage there, and I think he has picked up his small key from the previous chest, so there's one more item left in the basement, I believe. I didn't quite catch if he had looted the compass earlier, but he did get the map from Moldorm right there.
I feel like we're gonna find the bow somewhere in Brinstar.
I think it was a race earlier today. There was I think it was actually the one that Solski was commentating himself. There was a bow in the early supers in Brinstar, followed by a cane of burn in the top, and power gloves in the bottom underneath the crumble block. So Caracarn is immediately heading over to Cray to get his first Super Metroid boss out of the way.
Yeah, it's an out of the way boss. You may as well do it when you're nearby. He's gonna basically do a reverse. He's gonna start at Norfair and move up to the Criteria.
The
With his turn items, he can actually go all the way to Fantoon.
oh yeah, the grapple beam puts that in logic. Yes. The
And
early
puts it in logic and not in a rude way like earlier this week.
The Death Mountain save point to getting that so early on is particularly useful because Norfair is right at the bottom of Super Metroid, and it's really inconvenient to get to if you're like hanging out at the top in Wrecked Ship or Brinstar. But with the Norfair access in the Death Mountain, you can just save a crit link to the past and just walk up there, and you're already in Norfair. So Caracarn misses the quick kill on Kraid, and we're going to be seeing some additional content from Kraid for only for a couple more seconds. And he's just hiding some missiles, but this is a necessary boss, and good to get it out of the way when you can.
I wonder if Solski is going to take that book to, if he's going to go with I think that this is a bed seat.
They've got so much of Super Metroid open already, I doubt they're going to be thinking of the pedestal anytime soon. They're going to scour the world for that hammer and all Titan Smiths and the Moonpole.
Right. It's just like, this is such an interesting scenario where you've got two pendants completable. One just needs one item.
Okay, just some supers at the Kraid E-Tank spot, so not much in his lair today, but he'll take these early game items, especially until we can get the charge beam. More supers are always appreciated.
Solsti almost ignored the grapple beam, just out of instant, they knew it was going to be a missile, but realizing that would be a mistake.
So Caracarn is headed to Red Town and is going to check out the Spacer Beam room on this way here. And Solski is probably going to go over to Kraid himself too.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to follow pretty much the same path here. Do they go through room transition and end up in the other game? Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, there are four room transitions. Yep. Sorry, we keep talking over each other.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there are 4 room transitions in Super Metroid that will take you to Brinstar. The ones we have access to right now, there's a cave on Death Mountain that will take you to the upper part of Norfair, and the Fortune Teller's hut to the southeast of Link's house will take you over to Criteria in Super Metroid. There are other ways through which we will get access to later. So Caracarn is going to check out the X-ray room with his grapple. This is a pretty out-of-the-way check at the best of times, and with such an early grapple, it's a great time to do it right now whilst we're on our way up to Brinstar or Wrecked Ship.
I'm gonna be curious if they go up through regular Brinstar or take the Red Tower the whole way up. Whoa! Caracarn almost dropped there. That, good reaction now.
Solski gets the quick kill on Kraid. And that didn't look like anything necessary in the X-ray room. It had the... I decided to look away for 1 second to look at Solski's screen, getting a quick kill, and I missed the item. Typical.
Yeah, it was nothing.
So, fun thing about these flying insects in here, they have a very high power bomb drop rate. Caracarn is already maxed out on power bomb, so he cannot get any more than his 5 at the moment. But if you need to farm some power bombs, and you're happening to make your way through Red Tower, you can go kill a few of those bugs. Now, Caracarn is going up to the top of Red Tower. There's a few more items he can check up here, and he may decide to go left and check out the rest of Criteria and Brinstar, or he may go straight over to Pantoon with that grapple beam. The amount of energy right now, that's is looking much like what you would see in a NMG run. So, I don't know how practiced these Caracarn and Solski are with NMG runs in Super Metroid. If they're quite practiced, they may well decide to give early Pantoon a go.
Sneaking. No, that helps a lot.
Pantoon is a particularly deadly boss. He's very prone to colliding with you, and the line of fire that he drops on you when he becomes vulnerable is usually going to hurt you no matter what happens. If you decide to take your time shooting out the fire, you miss your chance to shoot at Pantoon and send him flying around so that he can get some additional hits in. So it's usually necessary damage taken. Caracarn having a couple problems with his cack attack here, but he gets past.
Oh my gosh, is that where Lack got his name?
Yeah, those plant things are called cack attacks, and there's actually a room in Meridia called Cack Attack Alley where you see a lot of them.
I didn't know that. Now I'm wondering if that's where Lack Attack got his name from Cack Attacks.
It's possible.
Now I feel like I have to ask him.
I don't know when his next race is.
Much smoother from Solski getting through that room. Oh, Terra is doing it.
There's a couple items you can check on his way to Pantoon, and another energy tank is extremely useful.
Oh yeah, no, this pushes you over the edge, I think. You've got low on missiles, actually.
Yeah, typically for taking on Pantoon in NMG using this kind of route that Caracarn has taken, you would have the charge beam by this point, and the spacer, but we don't have the charge beam, so we're going to have to resort to missiles only for Pantoon. Can't use supers either until he's near death, because that will put him into an enraged state.
Thankfully, you can use you can refill your ammo on the boss itself. So the flames of it, a chance. I don't like to say anything other than a chance, because it's actually not too much of a chance to get missiles.
Might just get a lot of 5 energy drops instead, and you're bound to take damage on that fight, so it's going to be a mixture of items. Just 20 rupees there, so we are heading into Pantoon with the equipment we've got on Caracarn's side. And Solski is making his own way up the latter part of Red Tower, so we'll see if he decides to go right or left. Okay, so as you mentioned, Caracarn is going to have to do a bit of Pantoon farming here to replenish his missiles. 10 ordinary missiles are not enough to bring Pantoon into the state where he can kill him with a super. So there's a couple drops. Quite a lot of drops.
These things are actually notoriously bad for drops, so it's nice to see.
He was full on energy, so those drops were guaranteed to be missiles. He has taken a couple of hits now, so he's going to get a mixture, but As you saw, he just got 20 energy there instead. Pantoon's on about half health now, so the 9 missiles might be enough to send him into the red state where he can finish him with a super.
Playing it
Caracarn's
safe,
getting
not doing it on that.
Ooh, Solski is doing an infinite bomb jump in the top of criteria. He has not gone to Vex ship.
Interesting. He does like his early gauntlet as well. So.
Caracarn gets Fantoon into red state, 1 super takes care of him, and that is 2 bosses down for Caracarn. 30 minutes into a SMZ3 siege. That's it, it's pretty impressive.
It's close to what you think from what's it called? Standalone randomizer for SM. And even then, you'd be looking at a little bit longer of a seed.
So just 50 rupees in the top of criteria. Solski may be making his way over to Gauntlet, but with 5 power bombs, he'll have to replenish his bombs midway. So I doubt he's going to do it. I think he's just going to go west to over to Brinstein and check the back of Gauntlet instead, and see if there's anything he might need there later.
He did just save. I think Solski is going to do check the front of Gauntlet.
Indeed.
Yeah, he is.
But Caracarn for now is going to be clearing out the rest of Vex ship. There's quite a lot of items in here, and more often than not in a lot of the recent races, it's been utterly devoid of anything of progression. But to get access to it this early is pretty nice.
I've seen almost nothing but progression in these. Oh, he's actually using regular bombs so he can get out if he so desires. Did a lot of damage though.
It does give him a couple of resting points from the acid, but it's particularly damaging when he's dusted in the power suit still. Yeah, this preserves his power bombs for if he wants to go check out the back of Gauntlet whilst he's here too. You almost never see Gauntlet being cleared out with regular bombs. It's usually just with a plethora of power bombs or the screw attack.
Yeah, but he's doing it. He's decided that, you know, I really want to get through this Gauntlet. This is the best, fastest route in for me.
Meanwhile, we just got the
ship, by the way.
Yeah, Caracarn just got it.
Ed charged me with the speed booster locked location once, with no speed booster in sight.
Ooh.
Ever in the entire seed. Never saw it.
It's water taunt. Although, you are required to get the Judge Beam to put Ridley and Mother Brain in Logic. The Logic does not expect you to kill Mother Brain Ridley without the Charge Beam, so that speed booster would have been lurking somewhere. Now, Solski got a fire rod at the back of Gauntlet, so this was definitely worth his time.
Oh, screw at speed. At the speed lock. Fire rod for Solski at the end of Gauntlets. That worked out for him. I think that is out of sequence for now, since we actually haven't seen a second power bomb, and you never know. Those power bombs could all be in like Turtle Rock, Lower Norfair, and a few others.
Well,
so.
I actually have no idea if the whole of Gauntlet is in Logic right now. You can get up there with an infinite bomb jump. You can clear it all with bombs. So
I don't know if the Logic expects bombs. Yeah, I'm actually not sure on if bombs are, if you need power bombs or regular bombs for Logic. Now, what isn't in Logic is what Solski is doing right now, which is this area.
Mockboard, check out.
Oh! Hammer in the sky!
Ooh! Brexit paying out today.
We still need to find that moon pearl though.
But there's a fairy, so that also opens up another check in Sick Kid. Ooh,
where is Caracarn is skipping gravity?
Yeah, interesting.
I guess does he know and he just realized. So
he can get across the gravity room with just the grapple beam.
Yeah.
But he's got enough energy to make it with his just doing the parachute jumps across. So
I think it was just he might be, because he knows that screw attack is there. Maybe he's gonna wait for speed and possibly backtrack.
Screw
not sure,
attack
though.
is more often than not, screw attack is simply a luxury item in Super Metroid. It's
Right.
compared to the charge beam, it's not really something you'd go back for much for time. I don't think screw attack actually puts anything into logic, but like by itself, not like with the space jump and the item in the golden Tweetser room in Lower Norfair. So interesting.
Yeah, maybe this might just have to be a write-off for Caracarn. The longer we spend, by the way, in this, and we don't find the Moon Pearl,
Yeah, really hoping and holding out for that pedestal.
well, I mean, it's just such an interesting scenario. It's one that I've personally never seen in the 2-3 years I've been playing and watching Randomizer. I've never seen a Moon Pearl on pedestal.
I've only commentated one pedestal seed myself. That was just for vanilla Link to the Past, and it was a key sanity seed where you're much more likely to get a ped seed. In this case, it was the Desert Palace big key on the pedestal, and it was a crystal dungeon. So yeah. So Caracarn he's skipping gauntlets, but he's probably going to check out the back here. Oh, he's making his way to the Chorizo, and
Which
he's
gonna
got a
have to
Morphle
fight.
bomb. So we've got an additional DLC fight here. Although I think Chorizo versus a couple of supers, which
Oh, there it is. There's the Moon Pearl.
there's your Moon Pearl. Yep. So we've got
Alright.
Dark World access.
So
That doesn't
Caracarn
count the-
skipping Hera. Good move.
Yeah, that doesn't count out the pedestal just yet. We could maybe be needing something like the hookshot on, which could be on pedestal.
Yeah, they got the flute, but at this point, like, there's not really gaining anything having the flute. It's either if that's Death Mountain, or it being Death Mountain. It's just kind of there.
Solski gets their first bottle in Mission Impossible room. And he breaks the block to get into the Spore Spawn Supers in just one try. In my time watching the Super Metroid Combo Randomizer seeds, I've only seen the Spore Spawn taken on once, and he wasn't even hiding supers in his room. It was a very, very dry seed for supers. But Caracarn is making their way back out of Terminator room again. They've seen that fire rod at the back of Gauntlet. They want it. Solski is cleaning out the rest of Green Brinstar, or Pink Brinstar rather. So he's going to set up a jump here to try and get the super missile through the gates to clip through it and open it from the other side, and he gets it in one try. But it's just a piece of heart back there. Amazing Anthos in chat. I know that Total has been talking about implementing key sanity in the combo randomizer. I think if you were to ever implement entrance rando, we would be probably looking at 10 hour seeds, 12 hours, something to keep you occupied for the whole day anyway.
No, I don't think it would be that line. You always overestimate the time it takes to do a entrance, but the main thing is it was hard enough to find how did the entrances work for the longest time. You could access the Meridia portal from the Fairy Cave by Pod, and that was never intended. But so yeah, I would not expect entrance randomizer anytime soon. Gotta get more in to understand the code of this game, which even the developer doesn't fully, understand like where all the memory addresses are.
Yeah, the way the memory works in Super Metroid and Link to the Past, the whole reason this combo randomizer works is that most of the memory is stored on separate parts of a SNES game cartridge. The only thing that's affected is when you're transitioning between games, is that your Super Metroid map, parts of it will suddenly become unexplored or disappear. So you
That
start seeing.
is fixed though as of now. Same with the
Oh,
Link
really?
sprite reappearing. Yeah, they have that working now. Even no music is also working as well. So the next version will have sprites, MSU support, which means that you can also turn off the background music as
Oh,
a
okay.
side
It's
effect
in
of
the
that.
next version, right? So it's not in the tournament right now.
Correct. So
Okay.
there's a lot of little things, but yeah, this is a little bit. There's a little bit of code issue when you combine a pretty well coded game like Super Metroid with a game that is horrendously coded like Link to the Past. You run into some issues. I remember that all of the problems initially with the game was Link to the Past related. Back in the beta days.
So Solski has cleared up most of Bluebeard's stuff right now. He finds super missiles in Billy May's room, but wait, there's more super missiles. But other than that, nothing really of worth in here. Now, Caracarn is not going down to Brimstone right now. They're going to go back to. They're going to the Dark World with that Moonpower in hand.
Oh yeah, with Moonpearl and Hammer.
Yeah, so you're not going to be seeing any Aga 1 plays today, unfortunately. Right, so yeah, there was a red crystal at Skullwoods and a red crystal also at Palace of Darkness. Right, Hype Cave check coming in on Caracarn's side. Starting off with a piece of heart, an energy tank, 300 rupees, silver arrows, and missiles. Fair bit of survivability there, and silver arrows is always nice to get because at some point we're going to be getting the bow. So I give that
And Zora
5 out of
money.
10.
Zora money, that also includes the ability to get all the other money things we need. That also solves our money issues for the rest of the season. I don't know why Caracarn decided to reset there.
Yeah, he missed out on a couple more checks he could have done, like
Unless he's
Stumpy
gonna,
and Digging Game.
yeah, he's gonna do those after Village of Outcasts, I guess.
Yeah, he can
Because of
just
the mirror, so maybe he's hoping to find Titan's Mitts to do um, the world
Smith's Chain,
trout,
yeah.
like Smith's Chain, and then that way you can just walk the chest down. So Steve's gonna find the Moon Pearl here.
Green Prince was kinda bust today. Solski really hasn't found anything there. So, the rarely seen Chorizo fight, we both of our runners have faced off against it. One missile, one super, and he's dead. Oh, and Caracarn is going straight for that pedestal check. He's about as worried as you are, I reckon. So what do we have on pedestal?
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, good to get it out of the way early. The 3 Lutwell pendants have got to have been playing on both runners' minds really early on. That said, Caracarn could have rooted this in with a Skullwoods clear first. He's got the fire rod, he can just go and clear it straight away. It's also crystal. So Caracarn's heading down to the village of outcasts now, and Solski's also going to be following in their footsteps. They've got their flutes, however, so they're going to be activating that first before making their trip into the Dark World. So this is going to get them around the Light World a bit faster. So from the chess game, we just have 50 rupees, nothing much of worth there, just a 20 rupee profit. Caracarn is dodging Thieves Town for now. He's going to get at least the next few items here. Thieves Town is a 5/6 crystal, and he's got all the items he needs to clear and a decent amount of heart containers, so he's probably going to want to do that as soon as he possibly can. He's immediately taking that bottle to Sick Kid, which he managed to grab. Just a little bit of love. Solski, meanwhile, is heading into... Oh, he hasn't done the back of escape yet. Right. Oh, no, 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 no. He's actually doing Houlihan play. He wants that Zora money. Right. So 200 and... He's reading the tablet. But yeah, there's 225 rupees down here to collect, which is going to give him a good amount of cash for Zora. And yeah, he's taking the flute now, so he's probably going to go up to Ritz's hut and go check out the area. Or he's going to prove me in lie and go to Desert Palace instead. Now, he's got his bomb out for checking Agina's cave, and if he was going to go through Desert Palace, he would probably be checking Agina's cave after Desert Palace, so I doubt he's going to go in there. He hasn't seen that it's not a pedestal seed yet, so he might be clearing it regardless. Caracarn does have the knowledge that it's not a pedestal seed, and he also hasn't been in Tower of Hera at all, unlike Solski. And there wasn't really anything worthy of progress in Tower of Hera, so this is saving a decent bit of time for Caracarn at the moment. Solski he's fluted over to the Ice World Cave. But, he's going to go up and check the Zora area with combining that with a fake flippers. So first he's going to make his way to the Hobo, then using that moon pearl he can get into the waterfall cave near the Zora. The funny thing about the item coding in Link to the Past is that if you're doing a fake flipper trick, the way the game checks for your items is that if you have the moon pearl, it still thinks you have the flippers when you go into the waterfall cave and will actually let you go in there. If you don't have the moon pearl when you're doing a fake flipper, you cannot get into the waterfall cave. Ooh, and he takes a death on his way to the Hobo. I think, I didn't quite see what happened there, but I think one of the guards on the bridge shot him with an arrow, and if you take any kind of damage at all when you're using fake flippers, the game will just outright kill you to prevent a softlock. So Solski is going to try again, whilst Caracarn is clearing out Thieves Town. But yeah, as I was saying, because of the ready game checks for the items, you can get into the waterfall cave using fake flippers, only if you have the moon pearl. But after that waterfall cave, he's going to be going up to King Scammer, paying up the big Zora to see what he has, also seeing what is on the waterfall ledge, well, on the Zora ledge, but he won't be able to get that because he cannot pull off any fake flipper tricks in the Zora area. So Solski's going to threaten this poor Hobo with a sword and gets 3 bombs for his trouble. And Caracarn is headed down to the basement of Thieves Town. You can check out the big key chest here because he's got a hammer, and nobody ever likes leaving the Thieves Town big chest here behind. It's the only thing that you need a hammer for in this dungeon, but if there's an item there, it can really play at the back of your mind for the rest of the race. There's a couple items, a couple hearts he can get from the pots here to replenish his health before blind, which is pretty useful, though he's sticking with 4 hearts. Solski makes his way into the waterfall cave. And he gets an energy tank and another energy tank. That is not so bad. Ooh. That is the various use in the big chest of Thieves Town. Well, that opens up a lot of Norfair for Caracarn. And you can also get into Lower Norfair without worrying about the heated rooms now. So that is extremely nice for him. To get into Lower Norfair, he is going to need a couple more Super Metroid items to put that in logic, or he can get into that from, I believe, the Misery Mire area is the door to Lower Norfair. Now, he doesn't have access to Misery Mire area because he doesn't have the flute like Solski, but Solski also doesn't have Titan Smiths like Caracarn, so we're not going to be seeing that area just yet or any surprise Lower Norfair place. It's going to be a while before we get down there to meet Ridley. King Zora just had absolutely, I think that was just super missile, so nothing of worth for Solski. He's going back to Super Metroid, but he's got a lot more energy now, so I imagine he's probably going to make his way to Fantoon. He's cleared out most of the green and pink Brinstar and found pretty much nothing there, so... But he is going to get the hammer in Vegship, and he's also going to maybe check out the gravity suit area, which Caracarn skipped out on, possibly accidentally. Not sure which. I'll have to ask him later about that. Ooh, space jump in the sea house in the village of outcasts. Right, so that is one way to get to Ridley's lair through normal Super Metroid logic, but he's going to want that to get that gravity suit first to really put it in logic. He can get up there with just a fair suit using. Well, no. If he wants to do a lava dive, he would need the gravity suit, I believe, to be able to do a much larger jump than normal using the momentum you get from disabling the gravity suit and jumping up there. It is possible to get around there with tricky wall jumps, but I don't think that's going to be one in logic. So Caracarn is just going to go straight to Skullwoods for now. He's got the fire rod and it is a crystal, so may as well get it done. He's got everything he needs to clear it out. And yeah, Solski is headed into Wreckship. He's going to have a bit of an easier time with Fantoon because he's got quite a bit more missiles and quite a bit more energy tanks, and that just lets him. He doesn't have to play it so carefully. He can just tank for a bit more for damage. Just a compass in that chest, so Caracarn's going to skip around to the other side now, probably. With that early Samaya, we don't have to worry about posting the stash in here, which is a bit of a hassle thanks to Skiptos and the Wallmaster. You can just put a Samaya block on the switch and away you go. So another small key here, that will get him to Morphula. And this is working out a little inefficiently for Caracarn because he did check the pedestal on his way to the Dark World earlier. So he can't just mirror from the entrance of Skullwoods here and check out the pedestal on his way. He doesn't need to anymore. Solski just needs a few more missile hits on Fantoon and then we'll be able to finish him off with a super, whilst Caracarn is struggling a bit with Gibdos. Ooh, gets a lucky fairy drop there. Oh, the door shuts just before he walks in, so now Caracarn's going to have to spend a bit more magic to light the torches. So going into Mothula with just the Master Sword is kind of what we would be encountering in the vanilla game, but you would also want to have quite a lot of magic heading into Mothula so that you can do some fire rod shots on him, which keeps you at range and lets you dodge all the spikes in his projectiles quite a bit easier. With a Master Sword, you have to get up close and personal, and that not only does that risk damage, but if he's against a wall, you can't really move him from there. Solski gets their charge beam. Caracarn's one hit away from death. They do have a fairy in a bottle though, so even though they are dying here, they are going to come back to life. And they did get quite a lot of hits on Mothula in, so oh, he's dead already. Okay. Bit of a waste of a fairy there. Ooh, the hook shot from Mothula. Well, that puts the Eastern Death Mountain in logic now for Caracarn. He can take a save and crit to the mountain, so the flute isn't going to prove that useful for him to getting over to the east side, but there's a lot of items to check over on the east side. Yeah, he's going in the back here because he's lacking a few items from Skullwoods, and he's got this chest available to him, so he's going to be checking that out. Question in chat why Solski is so far behind. Solski has spent time clearing out all of green Brinstar and pink Brinstar, something that Caracarn has completely skipped. And there was pretty much nothing in green Brinstar or pink Brinstar at all, so it's been a bit of a big time sink for Solski. He has also cleared out Tower of Hera, which Caracarn decides to skip, and Solski has not checked the pedestal yet. Both our runners have the book, but only Caracarn has checked out the pedestal on his way to the Western Dark World. He knows it's not a pedestal seed, so he knows he doesn't need to clear the pendants unless he needs items that may be lurking in the chests. So Solski is trying to do this bomb jump here, and is struggling quite a bit. If Xanos was in here, I'd ask him if it's in logic or not. I'm not sure it is. I think probably gravity suit is required for this. Perhaps chat can fill me in. And as we saw in the last chest of the Skullwood, the gravity suit was there. So Caracarn is really getting all the value here, and Solski is kind of struggling. Ooh, Caracarn weirdly going sideways up the stairs there. So in top part of Paddock's Cave, we have nothing so far. For energy tanks, always nice. Another hard container and piece of art. Okay, so Paddock's Cave was a bust today. No Titan Smiths to check out the Dark World, like Hookshot Cave or Super Bunny Cave, so Caracarn is leaving. He's gone back to Mountain Cave, so I think he's going to go straight over to Norfair from here, and probably be cleaning out Norfair before he thinks of going to Meridia, but getting around Meridia is, well, he has the space jump, so it's actually going to be not much concern right now, but having the speed booster would be ideal, because in Meridia you've got quite a few speed booster blocks, which otherwise you would need to do out of logic checks to get past, like such as the famous snail clip, where you stand on the snail and you force yourself into the ceiling above you by standing on the snail, and then you can use that to clip your way through the ceiling and check out a couple of items that way. But Caracarn is making their way through Norfair for now. Solski checks out that screw attack in the speed booster locked area of the wreck ship. Solski is very shortly going to get their hammer here at the top of the wrecked ship C. But he has to have a bit of fun with the flying things here. They look like rippers, but I'm not quite sure what their actual name is. One of these days, I'm just going to open up the wiki and learn every single enemy name possible. Super Metroid has a lot of really esoteric enemy names for most of the stuff. The green maggots in Brinstar, for example, are called Zeros. Why are they called Zeros? Nobody knows. So not much in Bubble Mountain here so far for Caracarn. Mostly just there was a piece of heart and a milk tank. He's going to go check out the speed boost room next, and then Solski sees a hammer. Solski wants a hammer. Solski could do an infinite bomb jump here and get back to that item and then shoot the wall and collect it, but he's going to go back to the Ripper platforms instead. It's a pretty tricky wall jump to get that wall jump from the lower platform, but makes it this time. I just missed it what that was in the speed boost room. I just go have another quick look. Just a piece of heart. So there's a hammer for Solski, and they can see the bottle down here. They're probably going to get it. And then what Caracarn did here earlier was that he actually took the lower of that mothball passages to actually exit the wreck ship area, and he skipped out on the gravity suit area. Something that Solski is not going to skip out on. I don't know if Caracarn did this deliberately or not. It looks like it may have been an accident, but to cross this room in logic, the upcoming room in the wreck ship in logic, you need the grapple beam. You will see most runners just not bother with the grapple beam and just jump their way across her. And both Solski and Caracarn have more than enough energy to go ahead and do that. But Solski's getting a little low on energy, so he's just choosing to grapple rest away rather than taking additional hits. So Solski gets a bit of a coffee break and time to wonder where he is supposed to go in this sea to get progress. We know most of the progress right now is lurking in Thiefstown and Skullwoods. But he has got that hammer to send him over there now. Wreck ship actually paid off today. So there's one item he can check here. He cannot get over to the wreck ship reserve tank which is where the screw attack is, because no speed booster. And one item he can grab is just 20 rupees, so I don't think you're going to be seeing any around us get the screw attack today. Ooh, Caracarn is using that space jump and gravity suit to go straight to lower Norfair. With all these items, this is pretty much putting all of Super Metroid in logic for Caracarn right now. Just one. In terms of bosses, at least. He's got a few item checks that won't be in logic, but which would require a speed booster, but he's pretty set otherwise. He's taking the save up here, so he's going to go down to the area that's locked by space jump. And if he doesn't like what he sees here, he's just going to hard reset, not bother with the golden chorizo fight, and just make his way to the right down here instead. So it turns out that skipping the gravity suit area in wreck ship for Caracarn was actually a very decent skip for him. He's made a lot of gambles in skipping items so far, and it's paid out for him, because he's been able to find his important progress elsewhere. think Caracarn still only has 5 max power bombs, so he's using his ordinary bombs to clear those blocks. It's kind of inconvenient for him. Solski has picked up a lot more power bombs in his track across Super Metroid. So, Space Jump locked item is a hard piece, and we'll just quickly see what the other item is, rather than fight this Chorizo guy. It's Spacer. So Caracarn is going to take on the Chorizo after all, so the general method being stand on his foot and spam a lot of super missiles at him. However, Caracarn runs out of missiles, and they're going to go for charged spacer shots instead. Solski is now making his Dark World checks. He's going to get the Silver Hours here in Hype Cave. Behind the Chorizo is a hard piece. Now Caracarn can get into Meridia from here, so I mean not Meridia? Misery Maya from here. So fun thing about Combo Randomizer, the flute is never necessary to complete the seed. And you can mostly do fine without it. I didn't see what that medallion was on Misery Maya, but if we can get inside, we can clear all of Misery Maya immediately. Ooh, Solski was going to check out the pyramid, but runs into one of the moblins there and is now going through his fairy in a bottle, which he picked up from the wrecked ship area. So that's a bit of an unfortunate loss for him, but he can continue on without being set back. And from here, Caracarn could also choose to clear out Desert Palace if he so chooses, but it's probably not on his list of priorities right now. He knows it's not a pedestal seed. Pedestal seed is just missiles. He gets another set of power bombs from the Maya shed, which is particularly useful for him. Solski gets his own power bomb pack from the pyramid. Just going to check out quickly what's on the graveyard ledge here, which was a vanilla piece of heart. And Caracarn's taking the portal back. He is going to go and see what Misery Maya is, which is Quake. We can get in. And yeah, he's going to go clear Misery Maya. Solski, meanwhile, is on his way to the catfish. Now, he already did a check of the Zora area using fake flippers earlier. He didn't have the moon pole at the time, so his catfish check is a little bit less efficient than it could possibly be. Because he can't just mirror over to check the Zora area because he's already done it. The Grumpy Fish has just 5 missiles. Solski is going to go to the Western Dark World now. We know that a lot of items on Caracarn's side were from Thieves Town and Skullwood, so this is going to work out for Solski, but at the moment he's quite a ways behind Caracarn. He's got a pendant clear, which was completely useless because there's nothing in Tower of Hair of worth. Not even a pendant is worth anything, and Caracarn, meanwhile, has 2 crystals done, so Solski is a fair bit behind at this point. Yeah, Sunny 97. We got a very early light roll check. We saw it was all vanilla pendants. But unfortunately, the pedestal is just 5 missiles today. My co-com Zelnus early in the race, he unfortunately has had to leave. He was really, really hoping for a pedestal seed. But it's not to be. So regarding stuff for Link to the Past Go mode that we need right now, we may possibly need the boots in case of a big key in Ganon's Tower, but that's a 1 in 22 chance, so not technically necessary. although boots would be especially handy because there is a tempered sword on the Kakariko library. And going into Ganon with a tempered sword would be much easier than going in with Master Sword. Other than that, we need the bow so that we can actually clear Palace of Darkness and Ganon's Tower itself too. And we also need the Ice Rod for Turtle Rock. You may also need another medallion for Turtle Rock if it turns out to be Bombers or Ether. Oh, and we need the Flippers too for Swamp Palace, so quite a lot left for Link to the Past Go mode still. Caracarn going for the menu a bit there to try and select the hookshot. Small key in that chest. I think there's items on the Firelock side of Mizumai. Yeah, there's a map. He's choosing to take the mirror, and oh, he's leaving. Am I missing something? What could he need for Mizumai that he does not have to clear it? I don't think there's anything he's missing to clear Mizumai. Other than him being low on health and a bit low on defensive options, Vitreous in with Master Sword and Green Mail is pretty rough. Interesting. I guess he just wants to finish off Ridley and then go back. This is a little inconvenient for Caracarn because he doesn't have the flute like Solski does, so he can't just quickly return to Maya. He's going to have to go back to Lower North again if he wants to go to Maya. Solski is meanwhile facing off against the Moth themselves, and they are going for hammer strats. High damage, smaller hitbox. But he gets it without any problems. Doesn't have to use a fairy like Caracarn did. So they get their hookshot. Caracarn is now in the worst room in the game. It's actually called that. Without the plasma beam, the space parts are annoying. With a space jump, this room is quite a bit less annoying than it could be. Caracarn has got pretty good defensive options at the moment. He has got the Ice Beam and the Spacer Beam. We haven't seen Ray Beam yet, but Ice and Spacer is a fair amount of damage. Enough to finish the game with at any rate, although stuff like Ridley and Mother Brain with charge shots alone will be still pretty slow at this point. It's mostly a loadout you would see in NMG. Solski meanwhile makes their pet check after clearing Skullwards and sees, yep, you cleared Taufera for nothing. Getting a few frustration slashes in there with the sword before getting picked up by the duck. I think Solski has missed an item in Skullwoods. I can't remember if it was Fairy Suit or Gravity Suit. I believe it was one of the suits. In the bottom of the Ridley escape, we find a mushroom. Actually interesting that Caracarn's going here before Ridley. Oh, he's killed enough of the light-emitting bugs now that we can't see. I think he's just going to go out of the room here and reset so he can see. Chat tells me that Solski did get gravity from the Skullwood, so yeah, he's safe. Ferrysuit was in the big chest in Beefstown, so he's going to go there right imminently, and this is helping him catch him up to Caracarn a little bit. He does not have the space jump like Caracarn does, though, so that was in the C-shaped house, though, so he's very shortly going to get that. Caracarn is getting very, very low on energy in the D's Gigas room. Don't ask me why they call that. Find some power bombs in the... I think it's called the Room of Shame, because normally in NMG, if you have to check out this item, it's because you're low on ammo and you need to restock your ammo. I think it's normally super missiles over there. So if you were a little too... used a bit too much ammo, you have to go check out the Room of Shame to get another ammo replenishment. Caracarn now at the Ninja Pirates. Gets kicked in the face. Kicks in the face again. But Caracarn is nearly at Ridley now, and what you're going to be seeing them do very shortly is a lot of farming. He's got to replenish his super missiles, because super missiles are by far the best DPS on Ridley. They do 600 damage to Ridley compared to normal 200 damage that a super missile would normally do. And he is very low on energy, so we've got a bit of farming to do. Nothing in his reserve tank, so yep. Farm time it is. The grapple beam makes farming here not too hard. You can just zap the bees before they come rushing at you, and pick up their items too with the grapple beam. You don't have to worry about getting them synced. Oh, he's draining his energy here. He's going to go for a crystal flash. So he's got to get below 50 energy, then he will be able to perform the crystal flash technique. The how you perform it, what button inputs you need, I can't quite remember. But for the cost of 10 missiles, 10 supers, and 10 power bombs, it fully replenishes his energy. So he's still going to farm, but now all he needs to farm is ammo. He did take a hit from the bee there, so it's not going to be pure ammo drops. So whilst we're seeing Solski do clear up Beefstown, which Caracarn already did, and Caracarn do a extreme amount of farming here, let me give you a rundown of the seed so far. Solski, we found a bunch of early Link to the Past progression, like the power gloves, the lamp, and the mirror, which allowed our runners to get up to Tower of Hera. Solski chose to go to Tower of Hera and clear it out. Caracarn decided to skip. Solski has also chosen to clean out Green Moonstar and Pink Moonstar, which Caracarn has not done at all other than the Red Tower area. So currently you're seeing Caracarn with quite an advantage here, because he was able to get his Moon Pearl first and head into Darkworld and start cleaning crystals, whereas Solski is now only doing that. He managed to get Solski has claimed his hookshot and the gravity suit from the back of Skull Woods, and he's going to claim his fairy suit here very shortly. Assuming he remembers to check the big chest. Sometimes it's forgotten. Oh yeah, he's going for the big chest, so Solski is going to get that area. And Caracarn feels like he has enough ammo for Ridley now, so we're going to face the Space Dinosaur. He's got 26 supers, which is going to do a decent amount of damage to Ridley, and I don't think it's quite enough to finish him off, so he will have to resort to probably charged spacer shots rather than missiles. Ridley's being mean and hanging out the top of the room, which makes hitting him a bit more inconvenient. Ah, no. Ridley is already in the red state, so I think a couple more hits with just missiles here should be enough to get him in the dead state. And once Ridley is technically dead, he has to pick up Caracarn, and then apparently the weight of Samus is too much to bear for Ridley, and he just explodes and breaks apart for no reason. No, he's not dead yet. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Ridley was going in for the grab there, but actually missing Caracarn, so Caracarn was just bouncing off and taking damage. So behind Ridley is more supers. Worth picking up because Ridley really drains Caracarn's supers there. And that's most of Lower Norfair cleared for Caracarn. He's still got to go through most of the Ridley escape area and do places like the Three Musketeers room, but mostly a lot of checks for not much, but it is one more Super Metroid boss down for Caracarn. Solski is doing a couple more checks that Caracarn has not done, namely the digging game and Stumpy. Caracarn made his way through a bit of South Dark World earlier, but decided to skip this part, probably hoping he would find Titan Smiths and loop this in with a blacksmith check. We haven't found the Titan Smiths yet, so we're going to need that for at least getting into Ice Palace and Turtle Rock. It'd be interesting to see nothing from the digging game there. It'd be interesting to see where Caracarn decides to go from here. I think he's just going to go through the Ridley escape, clear out the rest of Norfair, maybe pay a visit to our old friend Crocomire, and then probably head up into Meridia. He's got the space jump, but he doesn't have the speed booster though. So he will be relying on tricks like the snail clip to fully check out Meridia. If he so chooses, he can also make a trip to the pedestal in Super Metroid, that being Shack Tool, because he's got the grapple beam. I just missed what was in K45 on Solski's side. I'm just going to have another look. 50 rupees, useless. Okay, so Solski's going to do the other check that's Caracarn missed out on, which is... Ooh, that's the Pegasus boost from Stumpy. So, right, Solski is immediately going to use those... Okay, no, he's proving me a lie, but earlier in the race, we saw that the sword upgrade was on the library ledge. I'm actually really surprised that Solski is skipping out on that. He's still only on fighter sword. He's going to check out the Bomber's tablet first. Though he can only read it because he doesn't have Master Sword yet. Catch cash. Solski is passing up the sword. That is... I wonder if he's forgotten it. Oh, there is another sword there in the Three Musketeers room / Vanka Z room for Caracarn. Oh, the Caracarn getting very low on energy from the eponymous Three Musketeers. He has got a lot of reserve tanks there because he used a Crystal Flash technique outside Ridley to fill up his energy, so he's not dead yet. He's got plenty of reserves to dip through. I think he's got at least 3 reserve tanks at this point, if not 4. So yeah, if Caracarn chooses, he did see the sword on the library much earlier, so if he decides to go back to Stumpy, he will get those boots, and he can get his gold sword if he so chooses. But Tempered is a very nice place to be in for clearing out Link to the Past. We got the silver arrows from Hype Cave, and we need the bow for clearing out Ganon's tower anyway, so Ganon is going to be pretty smooth to kill this phase. No swordless strats necessary. Or rather, Master Sword spin strats. Caracarn gets a bit annoyed with the health warning and decides to dip into his reserve tanks manually. So checking out Spiral Cave on Solski's side. Still don't know what's in the Dark World side yet, because we don't have Titan Smiths. Caracarn has now made their way out of Super Metroid and back into Link to the Past, and we'll see where he decides to go now. Oh, wait! That's the Titan Smiths in the Spiral Cave! Did Caracarn skip this? Of course he skipped this, because he doesn't have it. Ooh! So, Solski getting his own advantages here over Caracarn. So he's immediately going to use his Titan Smiths to check out Super Bunny Cave, Hookshot Cave, and see what medallion he needs for Turtle Rock. Caracarn is making a way back into Dark World near Swamp Palace though. And from here, he has cleared one of the crystals for the Pyramid Fairy, but the other 5-6 crystal is Palace of Darkness, so I wonder where he's going to go now. It looks like he's going to the Bombers tablet, and then he's probably going to loop in the South Dark World. Oh, there's a speed booster in Super Bunny Cave. So Solski has got all of the speed upgrades suddenly. He's going to be zipping through the rest of the sea. This will allow him to catch up to Caracarn. He's currently one Super Metroid boss behind. So this was just couch cast. Solski read this earlier. Caracarn is back in the Dark World, and Turtle Rock was... Oh, it's Ether. Okay. So, we're going to need to track down the Ether medallion. It could be anywhere in the world. The bottle of blue goo in Hookshot Cave for Solski. Right, Caracarn is on his way to K45 and Stumpy, so he's going to get those boots very shortly, and his gold sword too. I'm still kind of incredulous that Solski decides to skip the Master Sword. Maybe he's on his way to get it now. Oh, nope, he's floating away. Right, yeah, he is going to head into Maya area now, and probably go into Lower Norfair by the back door. So Caracarn gets their boots, and they don't know where Titan Smiths are. He's hoping to find Titan Smiths somewhere else to make the Death Mountain Dark World play more appealing. He did check out Paradox Cave earlier, but he did not check out Spiral Cave. So, He is making those South Dark World checks with the shovel game now, which was nothing, and he can't go and do the Blacksmith's chain because no Titan Smiths. Just wonder where he's going to go from here. Solski picked up some flippers in Hookshot Cave. It's a problem I have. I look away to just to, I think, ooh, Solski has picked up 3 items, the 4th item. I can probably look away for 1 second. Nope, it's the flippers. We need the flippers for progress. Yeah, Caracarn's going to the library now. So he's going to get his gold sword here. It is intriguing to me when he would decide to go back to Death Mountain. I imagine he's probably going to do a Tower of Hair clear before he even thinks of doing Spiral Cave. So until Caracarn gets to Spiral Cave, this is Solski's opportunity to catch up. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's just Science Spark NG. For some reason, I thought Solski didn't have the fair suit there, but no, he picked it up from Feast Town. So, Caracarn is starting off with some boots check sets. Bonkrok says power bombs. Looks like Caracarn is looping over to the Zora area. He hasn't done this yet. Solski used fake flippers to check this out earlier. might just be stopping off at the magic shop to get some potions though. Ah, no, he's handing in that mushroom. Right, yes. There's a mushroom bar in the Ridley escape area. It's a little more inconvenient for him because he doesn't have the flute like Solski does. And mushroom is just 3 bombs. He can top up his potions whilst he's here though. He's choosing to save and crit. And he's back in Super Metroid now. Okay. So from here, I think he's going to go to Meridia, finish that off, clean out every item he can get in there, and essentially treat himself like he's in Super Metroid Go mode. But we will see. So Caracarn, oh right, Caracarn is now heading in over to Green and Pink Brimstone. This is going to cost him a lot of time, because there's pretty much nothing down here. Yes, don't skip Spiral Cave. If you ever want to run Randomizer, never skip Spiral Cave when you're on Death Mountain. Far too often it has that one item you're looking for. Yeah, it's annoying to check it, but if it's got the one item you're looking for, you are stuffed if you leave it behind. Oh, Solski taking a bit of an acid buff here. On the plus side, it does get the flute for Caracarn, so when he decides to go back to Maya, it's going to be quite a bit more convenient for him, but yeah. This is mostly going to be a big waste of time for Caracarn. So Solski is coming in, because he did Green and Pink Brimstone much earlier, he's coming into Ridley with a lot more ammo than the Caracarn did. But he's coming into this also equally low in energy, so he's going to need a top up. I imagine he'll probably do exactly the same as Caracarn and just use a Crystal Flash to top up his energy. Dude RK0 points out that the Cane of Burner was down here in Green Binstar. It says it does put Spike Cave in logic. That Spike Cave person back towards Death Mountain. It's Spike Cave being one of those isolated item checks that is you just want to do at some point because it's annoying, but never really want to do it much. Could push him in the Death Mountain direction though. Just need things to push Caracarn towards Death Mountain. So Solski is farming ammo from the bugs here. So another extended farm session for viewing pleasure now, courtesy of Solski. So Caracarn just do this a little while ago. I wonder if he is just going to top off his energy and his ammo rather than use a Crystal Flash. He hasn't done it yet. Maurice in chat, there's a technique called the Morph Ball where which gives you a much greater speed when you're using the Morph Ball. It's typically something you use to check out what's called early supers in Green Brinstar, but you can also use it to get out of that Etikun's room to get to the other side without falling down. It gives you the additional speed needed to get across to the other side. no speed booster, so both Solski and Caracarn haven't checked out the waterway yet. But Solski does have that speed booster now. And he takes down Ridley with very little trouble. A lot more ammo than Caracarn, so just strictly supers for it. So essentially, Solski has his last few items to get here in Ridley's lair in the escape area, and then he's going to be tied up with Caracarn again. Except, he has a lot more items because he has checked out Spiral Cave for that Titan's Miss, and then gotten all the plethora of goodies in Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave. So Caracarn is running out of time here. Still no wave beam or yet, so we can't do this item check the intended way. Takes a couple of tries to get the gate glitch done, but gets it that try. Much easier to do if you have the high jump boots. Because all you need to do is just go to the wall, high jump up to and at top of your height via super, and there goes your gate. So Caracarn's nearly done with pink and green brimstone now. I think from here he's probably just going to go down red tower and start cleaning up Meridia. Solski may be doing the same thing. We don't know where Ether Medallion is, and from Solski's side of things, from a link to the past, he only needs the Ice Rod and Ether Medallion for go mode. Right, Caracarn hasn't checked out Blue Brimstone yet, so they've got to do this too. Ooh, time is ticking down for him. So Solski did all these checks much earlier in the game and found pretty much nothing for it, and now Caracarn is dealing with this himself. He could have skipped all of this if he had checked out Spiral Cave on his trip up to Paradox Cave on Death Mountain. So he's currently a bit stuck. We're not in go mode yet. We've still got all of Meridia to clear out, so it's not a complete loss just yet. Solski is also going to be scouring around for these items too. Now Solski is going for the Crystal Flash in this room using the acid. Interesting. Surprised he didn't do this earlier. Okay, he dips down 50 energy, and now he can activate the... he can use Crystal Flash. 10 missiles, 10 supers, 10 power bombs, full energy refill. Caracarn nearly took a death here to the Three Musketeers. Solski's not taking that risk. So, Solski is picking up his Master Sword here. He did see that there was a tempered sword, well, a sword upgrade on the library ledge in Kakariko. He's got the boots to go get it. For some reason, despite being in a good place to pick it up earlier, he decides to leave it behind. I'm not sure if he has forgotten about it or if he's just decided, nah, don't need it yet. Fighter sword is fine. So Caracarn's nearly done with his checks that Solski's done. He's just going to do his Shaft Supers now and the Below Mother Brain, and then we have to see where he goes. One thing that Caracarn did earlier was that he skipped the Gravity Suit area in Wrecked Ship. Possibly because he didn't have Speed Booster, or possibly because he made a mistake and went out the lower tunnel by mistake in the above the sea outside Wrecked Ship. He might return back there just to get those isolated items. He's going in Shaft Supers here to just check the item because he cannot get it without the Speed Booster. Oops, he sealed himself underneath the yellow jumping blob there, and taking a bit of damage from the acid for his trouble. Yeah, that's the X-ray scope there. No plasma beam yet, so I doubt they'll be returning for that. So Solski's making his bubble mountain checks and speed boost area checks. One thing we haven't seen the runners do so far is Caracarn. He's still lurking down there, waiting for somebody to say hi. Maybe an Oats and Goats subscriber to get some Oats Croc in chat. Alright, Caracarn is back in Link to the Past. Let's see where he decides to go. Can't go to Ice Palace. No Titans. He can't get in Swamp. No Flippers. He can't clear Palace of Darkness, although he can partially dip into it. No bow. He's on his way to escape. Okay, yeah, this is another check that Solski did much earlier in the game, and Caracarn has not. This could be very awkward for Caracarn. He could be clearing out pendants at this point rather than returning to Spiral Cave. Never skip Spiral Cave. That's my advice to you. I've seen this happen in a lot of races I've commentated so far. Spiral Cave has your important item for progress. Spiral Cave gets skipped. Spiral Cave really screws over Run Runner. Right, so Solski is going for Gate Glitch here. He is on his way to... He's going to go to Crocomire. I don't remember what was down here in the escape. Perhaps our tracker can help fill me in. I think he's been taking notes of everything so far. It's something I've been neglecting to do. I really should do it more often. So, say hi to Croc. With no plasma beam, he's a bit annoying. You just have to feed him a bunch of missiles and force him back to the bridge fairly slowly. Crocomire wasting some time by shooting rocks at Solski. But he gets an acid buff, and that's a strange blue rupee icon behind Crocomire. Ooh, and we get to see poor Crocomire's face melt off for once. Gets tickled a bit with the grapple beam too. Caracarn is at Sanctuary. This isn't particularly conducive to him getting up to Spiral Cave. I guess he's going to go into the Dark World from here, and... He can't check out the Magic Bat because he has used his Mushroom on to actually check the item and did not save and crit to, well, hard reset to reset the Mushroom. He is activating that flute, though. So now that we have the music on stream, get your 07s in chat for the duck. I think it's more of a seagull, personally. But I didn't see what the next item behind Crocomire was, but it didn't look like anything. There's half magic. Pretty nice find. Strictly optional, but Crocomire is the pendant dungeon of Super Metroid, so hey. Last item is a green rupee. Caracarn does the Ice World cave check. It's left behind quite a long time ago and gets 20 bucks. Alright, Caracarn's reduced to making isolated Link to the Past checks now. He is probably going to think about stuff like Spy Cave and, more importantly, Spiral Cave very shortly. We hope. Or nope, he's going to go to Palace of Darkness. Without the bow, so... It could be in Palace of Darkness. There's a lot of items to find here before you even need to consider going down a Helm Assault. But dipping into Palace of Darkness without the bow is never a good feeling. You can check out the right side of Palace of Darkness by using the bottle glitch too, but that would be out of logic. Solski is back in Crocodile's room. I'm not sure why. I think he's setting up a science bug for something, but what? Alright, he wants to go into Crumble Tower from the back way and use the science bug to get there. He's just going to go this way instead. So first chest in the pod, we have a small key. So not bow locked today. We are going to be able to check more items in here, but how deep does the rabbit hole go? Oh dear. Solski gets stuck in between the two gates in the speed booster ice area outside of Ice Beam, and he has to go back in. You can just run your way through with normal speed booster. No mock balls necessary this time. Yeah, there he goes. Silent sparks into the platform just because he can. Caracarn immediately using that small key to get into the Harmless Hellroad. It's probably going to be another small key. Yep, it is. Key to get a key. Pretty common thing in Palace of Darkness with that chest and the big key chest. Right, so we've only got the Dark Maze left for Caracarn, and then he's going to be stuck. What's Solski doing now? Did he check out the Crumble Tower whilst I wasn't looking? I'm guessing he did. One more chest left for Caracarn. Is this going to be the bow? It's a map. So I think it's just this one chest left here for Caracarn in logic. It is a key. So he may go and check out the big key chest from here. I think quite likely he's going to... Well, no, he's making his way up the stairs and he's not going to go for a potion glitch just yet. Solski hands in his own mushroom, and most of Link to the Past of the world is his oyster now. He's going to start off with those flippers for Swamp Palace. So Solski's getting himself the advantage here now. Another small key to unlock a key, and yep, Caracarn is officially stuck. He can't clear anything else in pod in logic, and he has nowhere to go. Yeah, you can't use the flute in Dark World, you've got to mirror first. He did go to that mirror, didn't use it, and then fluted, so yeah, not much. Takes out an Almas outside Eastern Palace in his frustration. Caracarn is going into the Dark World from here. No Titan Smith, so he's got to go the long way around, and I think he's going to check out Graveyard Ledge next. He cannot check out the... Well, he can check out the King's Tomb. He's got the Mare for it. Doesn't need the mitts for that, but... we haven't seen those yet on Solski's side. It could be something. Probably be stopping by Bumper Cave here too. I don't think we've picked up the cape yet. Cape being one of those items that's not put on the tracker to aid my terrible, terrible memory. So 300 rupees on the Bumper Cave, so we don't need a cape for that at least. There's the map, so that's going to leave items over on the left side of Swamp Palace. Never an appealing prospect. Solski is actually immediately going to check it rather than take on Argus first. King's Tomb is another 300 rupees. Okay. So at the moment, Caracarn is pretty much just making isolated overall checks and linked to the past. So, he hasn't been up to Catfish yet. I don't think he's been to Zora either. He's still got those he could do before going back to Spiral Cave to get those Titan Smiths. He's getting a bit lost in the Dark World here. Okay, he's mirroring. Not quite sure where he intends to go. Looks like first thing on his game plan is going to be Desert Palace. I don't think he checked Agina yet. We have seen Agina from Run Runner. I think it was Solski. Caracarn was here just a little while ago checking out the Bomber's tablet, but he didn't check out Agina at the same time. So, Caracarn is going to the mountain cave. I reckon he's probably going to go into Tower of Hair first before checking out Spiral Cave, so that's going to be a bit more of a time loss for him. Hopefully he does remember Spiral Cave though. And yeah, no, he's going back into Norfair. He wants to do Meridia first. Okay. As worried this might be his plan, and yeah, it is. There's the ice rod in the bottom of Swamp Palace. Okay, so we just need the Ether Medallion to get in Turtle Rock now, and Solski can clear it. Ooh, blue mail in the waterfall room. You know, so Caracarn is giving us a quick look at Meridia. A couple of items are not in logic in here for him, namely stuff that's blocked by the speed booster. So that one is single arrow, so don't need speed boost for that. There's our Ether medallion. Okay. So Ice Sword in Swan Palace, Ether medallion in Meridia. We're not going to be needing to find bombers today. So top of Mama Turtle Room looks like a 5-hour upgrade, and that is a set of bombs. Yeah, 5-bomb upgrade. Solski using Ice Sword strats there to finish off Argus. And gets an E-tank as his last item. Caracarn's going to get their Ether medallion here by getting into that little tunnel where the crab has walked into. He hasn't seen what Turtle Rock is yet, though. He hasn't been in the Dark Death Mountain at all. No Titans. But he only had 1 medallion, so it's not really something you want to pass up if you are not at all sure what medallion you are going to need for Turtle Rock. Solski is dipping down into Ice Palace. Pretty much at this point, Solski is... we are looking for the bow. Solski is going to need that Ether medallion from Meridia, but other than that, to be in viewers go mode, as it were, we need to find the bow. We know it's not in pod, and Caracarn just did that, so a go mode pod is going to be possible. Depending on where Solski's routing takes him, or where the bow is in fact located. The watering hole in Meridia just has junk. Solski's going to do the bomb jump across Ice Palace here, and Caracarn's headed into his first area where Speed Booster locks him out of a few items. Looks like he's going to check out the Sandy Pits first of all, so he's going to take the save here, and then, well, he may try to check out the Speed Booster locked items first using a snail clip, but we'll see. I'm not too familiar with Caracarn's Super Metroid knowledge, so he may know how to snail clip, he may not. It's a pretty tricky technique. He sees that bombs is the first item, and yeah, he's not going to go for it. He's just going to leave it behind and hope that the second item there is nothing that he wants. So he's checking out the first sandy pit, and if he doesn't see any items here, he's just going to hard reset and check out the other one. We do have a grapple beam, so it can be also checking out Shackle whilst we're here in Meridia, which is never a pleasant prospect. I did not see what those items were despite seeing them, but it doesn't look like it was anything Caracarn wanted. Right, E-Tank and Ruby, thank you, chat. Doesn't look like Solski's pulled anything from Ice Palace so far. Okay, the next sandy pit has junk. Okay. Caracarn is going to take the fall here. Looks like he's going to go over to Shackle. Absolutely disgusting. Even when Shackle has the item you want, it's never the correct play. The correct play is just to abandon the seed and try again for something where Shackle isn't involved. So here is Shackle, the robot of absolutely zero worth. It takes ages to dig through this room, and if Caracarn is a decent person, he's going to kill Shackle before actually checking out the item. After he's done digging the sand, very, very, very slowly. Of course, if there's an item behind Shackle, he should kill Shackle on his way to the item, then come back and kill Shackle again for good measure. You can't kill Shackle enough, he really deserves it. And it's a piece of heart. Yep, told you, Shackle, never worth it. I mean, it could be the bow in Shackle, and it's still not worth it. So, Solski is on his way down to Cold Stair now. I think he has. I haven't been checking all the items he's got. He did get a 10 bomb upgrade there. It doesn't look like anything is on his tracker, so nothing important down here. It looks like he's got all the small keys, so Cold Stair isn't going to have a key. Here's the other clip you can do in Meridia if you don't have the speed booster, and that is to get this Metroid to follow you. Freeze it in the right place with the ice beam, and then use it to clip for the ceiling here. I think that's a bit too high. Solski puts that half magic and Pharaoh to good use to kill Cold Stair. And one more item is Red Boomerang. Oh, he gets a clip this time. So now we have Botroon. Now Caracarn, he can get to Dragon in logic because he has access to Misery Mire through the use of a doorway in Lower North there. So Dragon is in logic. Getting to Dragon from this side is not in logic. Solski's going to do a couple more for checks that Caracarn did, like the King's Tomb. Caracarn didn't have any means of picking up that X-ray scope at Shaft Supers earlier, and he doesn't have the plasma beam, so we're not going to be seeing microwaved shrimp today. But we do have the grapple beam, so we can fry our shrimp instead. I've been meaning to ask one of our fellow I have been asking one of my fellow commentators, Kuchiri, about how he likes his shrimp. He hasn't answered me yet. I think he's doing a race tonight, so make sure to pester him about how he likes his shrimp. Okay, so Dragon. Caracarn is going to, he's taking damage here. Yeah, he's going to destroy the turrets here, and then, you would use the grapple beam to, when you get picked up by Dragon, to latch yourself onto one of these broken turrets here and electrocute yourself and Dragon. But that's going to do some damage to Caracarn. He may take a couple damage while grabbed from Dragon tail smashes, and he's also going to take damage while being electrocuted himself. So he's pretty low on energy right now. I don't know how many supers he's got left. Now, normally to get grabbed by Dragon, you would get stuck by the grey goo there. and then Dragon will just pick you up. But Caracarn is just going for the straight kill here. So, oh, he gets grabbed. Okay, now he's going to go for the grapple kill. Perhaps he just forgot about it. Solski is going to go to Meridia by the back door, meanwhile. He's going to take the door over here in the Dark Worlds to get to the equivalent of the Ice Rod Cave. Oh, no. Yeah. Caracarn actually gets himself freed from Dragon's grip there, so no microwave. He's dipping into his reserves now. Still makes getting grabbed and electrocuting himself pretty dangerous. I can't quite remember the damage values for getting grabbed, so Caracarn's just going to go back to normal kill here. And there he goes. A bit more time consuming than it could be, but whatever gets the job done. Meanwhile, Solski, using that back door, is almost at Dragon himself. He hasn't cleared out any of Meridia first, so he's going to be doing the same checks that Caracarn has been doing. Just some supers behind Dragon. So I believe we've got the plasma beam left to check in Meridia, and that's about it. We'll see if Solski decides to go for the Shack Tool play as well. Solski is a good one. He's not going to go for the Shack Tool. I'm absolutely sure of that. 100%. Never go for Shack Tool. So Caracarn's not going to Plasma Beam. He's just going to go out the door that Solski took. For bomb jumping over these rolling mollusks? I'm not quite sure what to call them. But yeah, bomb jumping over these things can prove fairly tricky at the best of times. There we go. It looks like Solski is going for Shine Spark strat. Does a lot of damage to Dragon. He's got a lot more health for it. Okay, right. Caracarn was taking the transition there to link to the past to essentially save his game before hard resetting, so he wants to go back to the ship from here. If he just hard reset after Dragon, he would get sent back to the ship, but he would lose his progress. Going for the door there actually acts like a pseudo-save and does store your game in the combo randomizer memory, so that when you get sent back to ship, it still keeps your Dragon kill. Looks like Solski, yeah, he's gone to his grapple beam now. He gets great good. He's going to get picked up. He was going for the quick grapple there, but he just misses it. And Solski has tons and tons of health, so he's not going to be running into any problems here. He can just take a couple of hits from Dragon if he decides to do them. There's one. And then get grabbed by the top turret. Well, grab onto the top turret here. So, we do get some fried shrimp eventually. Oh dear, Caracarn is not going to... they're going to go back to Vex ship and check out the gravity suit area, which they skipped last time. This is not going to work for him. He needs to go to Spiral Cave to get the Titan's mitts. So the skips that Caracarn did earlier, whether it was by accident or not, are coming back to bite him. Oh, he didn't check out the item back here either. I guess he couldn't without the gravity suit. I can't remember what you call that room, but this room you definitely call the spiky room of death. It's spiky. Death is often involved. It's also a room. Bomber's back here. Caracarn hasn't seen what's on Turtle Rock yet, so he's going to keep that Bombers. Solski is making their way through Meridian and will be getting an Ether Medallion in fairly short order. You can also check out Plasma Beam whilst he's here, which Caracarn has skipped. He's also got the Speed Booster to actually make this item check rather than relying on Snail Clips. So just 20 rupees up here, so the Speed Booster was useless for this. So Caracarn did get a look at the item past the Chozo cutscene here, but he didn't get the Gravity Suit item. So he's going to be spending some time on this nonetheless. Solski is making their way to the sand pits. Caracarn has been in this area before. I can't remember if he checked out the right side attic yet. I'd be surprised if he missed it. He's trying to click through the robots here. Gets through that one. This one's wandering back, he's just going to have to push it. Okay, just missiles there. Oh, interesting. Caracarn used a damage boost to get through one of the robots there. I haven't seen that before. Solski gets me a much better look at the items there, and yes, there was an E-Tank and rubies. So Caracarn is back on their way to the gravity suit area. He already went through this area and got the hammer from the top of the sea here, but after getting the fairy in a bottle that was at the bottom here, he decided to skip out, and I don't know whether it was an accident or if he did it deliberately. I will have to ask him about this later, because it is costing him quite a lot of time right now. Solski has a big crystal advantage on Caracarn now, whereas earlier in the race, Caracarn had the big crystal advantage over Solski, so this has been a complete reversal of fortunes here. So Caracarn's making this long cutscene for Chozo, and they're probably feeling pretty bad about what they're doing right now. He's wondering, there's got to be some progress there. I've done a lot of skips. Where is that progress? And as I've said quite a lot of times now, that progress is over in Spiral Cave. Caracarn has been onto East Death Mountain. He checked out Paradox Cave. He skipped Spiral Cave, and is paying for it quite dearly right now because the Titansmiths were in Spiral Cave. So Solski is at the bottom of Meridian now. I don't think he checked out Plasma Beam. But he's going to get his Ether Medallion pretty shortly here. He can go in from the bottom here and take the pipe up to get to the Plasma Beam too. So first he's checking out the Mama Turtle room. Where is Caracarn going from here? He could be just going to go check on Mother Brain now. No, he's going down to Blueprint Star. Oh no, he's going back to Links to Past. Okay, that might be. Right, Solski sees that Ether Medallion. He knows he needs that Ether Medallion because he has been to Turtle Rock and saw what he needs to get in there. Caracarn is headed into the Dark World from the south portal, and this isn't the direction he needs to go. So he can't do Pyramid there yet. Palace of Darkness is other 5-6 crystal, and he can't clear it without a bow. We still don't know where that bow is. Yeah, he's checking a pyramid, and on the pyramid letter was just a power bomb pack. And he's probably going to go from Catfish to here. Yep, that's a plan for him. So Solski checked out Catfish earlier and didn't get anything for it. Caracarn has not checked out the Zora area. He doesn't have the flippers like Solski does, so he may be checking the King Zora and skipping yet more items by force. So, well, actually, I think he did the fake flip and checked out the waterfall cave. So it was a long time ago, though, about 2 hours ago. So I can't quite remember. I'm old. My memory's failing. Solski is on their way to Turtle Rock. He still hasn't picked up his tempered sword from the library. I can assume he's forgotten about it because trying next with Master Sword is a bit annoying. He can make do with a hammer, but it's a smaller hitbox and yeah. He is really going to want that tempered for Ganon though. Madagascar Dave, Solski is missing his 2 swords. One is in library, which he did see early on in the race, but has chosen to not collect it for whatever reason. And there was also 1 sword inside Eastern Palace, which Caracarn cleared out as part of earlier, and Solski has not. So there's a pretty good chance that Bo is going to be right here in Turtle Rock. Caracarn is on Death Mountain now. And he's going up the left side, so he's probably going to go into Spike Cave, and then maybe he will go into Spiral Cave from there. The worst thing for Caracarn would be right now if he had marked Spiral Cave as actually done on his tracker and thought he's done it, but he hasn't. Well, first he's going to check out the Ether tablet. Well, actually, first he's going to go and clear out Hera. Solski did this earlier, killed Mordorm, got absolutely nothing from here. And Caracarn was the first to find out this wasn't a pedestal seed, despite all 3 of our pendants being in Light World. So he is just making this play for items. Ooh, Solski gets a Rave Beam from the Firelock side of Turtle Rock. So Solski playing very nicely for chain jumps here, doesn't take any damage whatsoever, and is on his way to the basement. There's the big key. I'm not sure why. Well, okay, just 1 poke of a sword there kills Mordorm, but with a gold sword you can do just 2 slashes and Mordorm will die. Ooh, there's the Mirror Shield for Solski. So that's going to make for a pretty easy laser bridge for him. No fussing around with dash strats or using the cape or the cane of burner. Caracarn's going to check out the basement. I don't think Solski checked this earlier. Solski skipping by Mimic Cave. Gamble. Oh yeah, he's bonking back from the chest, and now he's going to check out Mimic Cave. Bo could be here. Bo is the only thing that Solski needs now for go mode. Red mail in Mimic Cave. Not bad. Probably worth the time to get. But Solski has quite a lot of hearts now, and so he's not short on mitigation for bosses like Ganon now. Okay, there was an item in the basement, but it was just +5 arrows, so useless. Okay, Caracarn is making their way east. They are going to get their Titan Smiths from Spiral Cave and probably be pretty frustrated where they left this behind for so long. Do not skip your Spiral Caves. If you find yourself on East Death Mountain for any reason, check Spiral Cave. My advice to you today, if you ever decide to run Link to the Past Randomizer or SMZ3 Combo Randomizer. Many slashes of frustration there. So Caracarn's now going to go into Dark World from here and get their items from Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave. But there are so many crystals behind Solski now, they're going to need a significant luck to catch up. And probably some accident on Solski's side, which is probably not going to happen. Solski is a very good Link to the Past runner. Aside from lacking Tempered Sword, he is extremely well equipped for the rest of the run now. More frustration. But wait, there's more. Over in Hookshot Cave, there's Flippers. Solski is going to take on Trinex now. Yeah, he's going to go for Hammer strats here. Hammer does the same damage as Tempered Swords, and so you need 5 hits per Trinex head to finish it off. Ooh, gets a breath from the Ice Head there. Solski just choosing to use extra fire rod shots and a sword spin there because you can still damage the head with the fire rod or the ice rod, even when it's stunned. Just really depends on your magic reserves. And I think Caracarn's really regretting their choices in their routing so far. Big trendy from Trinex, so we're still hunting that bow. Caracarn is now going to be going into Ice Palace. No bow down here. We don't know where that bow is. It's not in Turtle Rock, so it is really hiding somewhere. Some of the outray checks we haven't seen in, well, we have seen in Super Metroid. X-Ray has been looked at, Shacktor has been looked at, Waterway in Pink Pinster has not been looked at. I don't think either Solski or Caracarn checked out Plasma Beam for some reason, so one check that hasn't been done in Link to the Past is right here on Solski's side, Spy Cave. Just 5 missiles. Tracker did say that only one item has been found in Mizumaya so far, and there's another item lurking down there, so Bo could be on Vitreous in Mizumaya. Solski is going to go to the blacksmith chain now. I don't think Hammerpex has been checked either, so we've got this, and I think we've also got the magic bat. Both our runners have found the mushrooms, so they could go for a fake powder if they wanted, but I think both have handed in their mushrooms now, and not hard reset to save the mushrooms. So we will need the powder for the magic bat. I don't recall seeing that anywhere. So Hammerpegs is a hard container. So no world tour for Jeremiah the Frog today. He's just going to be returned as Jeremy the Blacksmith, and let's see what we get. More missiles. So here's the purple chest. Solski is choosing not to use his flute and is just going to walk down there. Ooh, he's going to take it north. He's mirroring by Thieves Town and... okay, now he's using his flute. Okay. Just decided to take it on a short tour for... before returning it. So, purple chest, are you Bo? You are power bombs. Solski has gone back to Kakariko. He is saving that mirror portal for something. What has he got left to check here? I think he's going up to Bumper Cave. But Caracarn did look at earlier, it was 100 rupees. I don't think he's seen Graveyard yet either. I did see him going in King's Tomb. Yeah, he's going Graveyard Ledge now. Caracarn looked at this earlier and it was nothing. Caracarn has been steadily progressing through Ice Palace and is almost at Coldstone now. I think Solski's getting a bit frustrated about the bow himself now. He's going to go back into Mizumaya. Caracarn has to use a potion to restore the health on Coldstone. He's still on a green mill. Coldstone does a lot of damage. As you see, he took one hug there from the puffs and immediately loses 4 hearts. So, without a potion, Caracarn would have died. So Caracarn has still got a lot to catch up on Solski here. Since it comes down to where that bow is. And it's looking pretty likely that Solski will get the bow before Caracarn does, so... although Caracarn is going to 6. Now going back in mind, if bow is down here, that will put him in go mode just shortly behind Solski. But he is so many crystals behind that it's going to be extremely difficult for him to catch up. One thing Caracarn does need for go mode as well is the ice rod, as chat is pointing out, but that was in the Swamp Palace in the drain section, so Caracarn is undoubtedly going to grab that. That is usually not an item you skip. A lot of runners often choose to just go straight to Argus rather than checking out the left side first, but they will check out those items in the drained room before going on to Argus. So he will get his ice rod there at least. I don't remember if Caracarn checked out the Firelock's side. He definitely dipped into Maya earlier. So, but Caracarn is headed straight to Vitreous now. No bow. Does have gold sword, so Vitreous isn't quite as problematic as he could be. We see on Solski's side that it was just a compass in the vanilla big key chest, so good idea to skip that room today. For mostly, the thing that's put Caracarn behind is he's been doing a lot of skips in the race so far. Most of his skips worked out for him, but he skipped out on Spiral Cave, and that was the one gamble that has put him in behind. So although he got a 2 crystal advantage and a Super Metroid boss advantage on Solski pretty early, he didn't get the Titan Smiths, and that has just put him behind for the rest of the race, so Solski has managed to get the advantage here. So Caracarn is just wading into the goo here to kill the little eyeballs with the gold sword. No big deal. And he's just going to finish off the big Vitreous eyeball with just more gold sword slashes. Oh, there's Powder. So Magic Bat is now back on the table again for Caracarn. I think he's going to go into Desert from here. I don't think either Solski or Caracarn have checked out Desert yet. Both Solski and Caracarn found out that this was not a pedestal seat pretty early, and they've been reluctant to go into Pension Dungeons because of it. Caracarn is skipping Desert though. No, he's just going for Crystal Dungeons now. He's going to get the Ice Sword here in the Swamp. He's not going to get the bow. We know it's not in Misery Mire, so that puts a very, very few locations left for the bow. It could be the waterway in Pink Brinstar. Both runners have been down to that section and checked out the charge beam location, but neither runner had speed booster for checking out the waterway. It could also be in the Plasma Beam room. Both runners have cleared up Meridia, but chose to skip Plasma Beam for some reason. Solski's got a few choices he can make here after he finishes Misery Mire. He could go and do the same thing as Caracarn and dip into Pod, where the bow was not found, so it's going to be a waste of time for him. Or he could start thinking about where he's left items behind in Super Metroid and go check those out. I know, as well as not doing Plasma Beam, Solski hasn't done Shack at all. Caracarn did do Shack at all, but that was nothing. So Solski's having, he's got red mail, which gives him a lot more defense against Vitreous, but he's only on the Master Sword. I really am going to have to ask him about that Tempered Sword later. So he gets Vitreous into a nice position and is now going to go for hammer hits, which does more damage than the Master Sword. And takes down Vitreous with little issue. Gets his own powder, so magic bat is on the table for him too. Solski is dipping into Desert Palace now. We haven't seen this at all from either runner. There's a big key. Okay, so what is on the torch? Map. So that just leaves a compass somewhere. And then there's 2 items left to get. Small key in a big chest, of course. Two more chests on the right side. One of them, they could both be items, or one of them could be the compass. In which case, Solski will go and take on Lamolus after. Meanwhile, Caracarn is making their way into the basement of Swamp Palace, and they are going to very shortly get their ice rod. They're still going to be upset there's no bow here, though. There's the bow! Bow's in Desert Palace. Caracarn could have checked out Desert Palace when he visited Maya, but did not. Okay, Solski is in go mode. So, summary of this seed. Early gambles and skipping items have paid off for Caracarn. Late gambles and skipping items have not paid off for him at all. He's going to be scouring the world for this bow and not going to find it. So Solski's going to be very quickly making his way to Helmersol. Still doesn't have a tempered sword. He's never been in Eastern Palace to get that sword, and he checked out the library, but I can only believe he has forgotten it at this point. Well, we still may be seeing some Master Sword spins on Ganon today, but we do have the Silver Arrow, so the last phase isn't going to be too much problems for Solski. He's an extremely experienced Link to the Past runner. He's also been making great progress in the Link to the Past Randomizer 4 tournament, and he's well used to Master Sword spin strats on Ganon. Also silverless, so this isn't going to be any problem for him whatsoever. Just a bit time consuming, because we know that the Tempered Sword is extremely quick to get, it being on the library in Kakariko. So Solski's checking out the bowlock side of Pod first. It's something that Caracarn chose not to do. He could have used a potion to glitch himself into that room. Well, glitch the camera and make his way through that room without needing to kill the mimics in there. But he chose not to go out of logic for that. Ooh, there's Plasma Beam. So we could have had a much earlier Plasma Beam and possible microwave strats against Dragon and Botroon earlier. But we got to fry the grapple beam and fry the shrimp at any rate. Solski gets a bit stuck on that gap, but just managed to get across. He's checking out the chest here now, so he's going to use a key to get a key. Bit of a waste of time, but yeah. Well, Solski is so far ahead now, that's no waste of time really matter to him now. So Caracarn's mostly going to be full clearing Turtle Rock anyway, regardless of if he had the bow or not, just to get the keys necessary to get through. So he doesn't save too much time here, not being in go mode, but Solski is just waiting to get enough keys to get over to Helmsaw, and then he is over there. Once he does beat Helmsaw, he's going to be on his way to Ganon's Tower. Solski making his way to Dark Maze. I believe the big key was over there, so he's going to grab that big key, and then he may check the other couple of chests trying to find a sword, and or just mirror out and decide to go straight to Helmsaw. Caracarn's getting pretty low on health here. I think one chomp from the chain chomps would kill him off, so he's got to be careful in the rooms coming up. A hit from the Hoku Boku here, aka Pokey, is also going to dip him pretty low, if not outright kill him, so gotta be careful. Caracarn wisely decides to use the Cane of Burner there to avoid damage from the chain chomp. He's almost out of magic here, but there's in that pot on the isolated item through the pipe there, he can get a full magic refill if he chooses. You don't often see runners taking that route, but when they want the magic, they will go and take the pipe to get over there and get that magic refill. So Solski is very shortly going to be at the Helmsaw King, and once he kills the Helmsaw King, he's going to be on his way to Ganon's Tower. Now, we are going to be playing a guessing game for Ganon's Tower. All you speed gaming veterans will know it's the big key guessing game in Ganon's Tower. If you are a subscriber or supporter to any of the speed gaming channels, so if you have a paid subscription through or you have donated 250 bits to any of the channels, you can enter a big key guessing game and enter a number between 1 and 22 to guess where the big key is. So we're going to be starting this when Solski makes his way out of Palace of Darkness. And then you have until he enters Ganon's Tower to get your guesses in. So Helmsaw poses no problem for Solski at all. 1 silver hour takes care of him. Okay, so get your guesses in chat now. Caracarn's going into Mimic Cave. He is going to pick up half magic here, so goes for that full magic refill, but it's well, oh no, it's red mail here. My mistake. I am. Thank you. Our tracker has been keeping a lot more notes than I have. Half Magic was in Crocomar. Caracarn has never been down there. Caracarn could be going down there to look for Bo at this point. And he's going to finish up Shadow Rock first. So Solski is nearly against her, and we'll be stopping the big key guessing game as soon as he's in. So if you're a subscriber or supporter, get your guesses in quickly. Caracarn is taking a bit more damage from the fire bars down here in Turtle Rock, so he's got to preserve his health. A couple bites from Trinex will still take him out. So Solski gets a key from the first two chests, and he's on his way right. No unorthodox early tower room checks for him. I wasn't quite looking at Caracarn's side there, but he's back to full health now, so he has powdered something. And I think he may have taken the safety door in Laser Bridge too. So, number 3, missiles. Number 4, bombs. Number 5 is shovel. Number 6, compass. Picks up his small key from pot here and mirrors to go check left side. Super missiles on the torch for number 7. Caracarn taking out Trinex with quite a bit more ease than Solski because he's got a gold sword. Number 8, small key. Number 9, small key. Number 10, power bombs. Number 11, missiles. More missiles. Number 13 coming up here in the fire snake room. Piece of art. Next destination, Randomizer room, so called because you only see it in Randomizer. In the vanilla game, I honestly cannot remember what's there. I think it's just a bunch of arrows and bombs in the chests. Maybe rupees, nothing useful anyway. Ooh, Caracarn's going for his sword checks now. Okay, no big key here. So it's either going to be in Tower Room or behind Ice Armors. But first we can stop by Bob's chest here. Unfortunately for Bob, he does not exist in Super Metroid Combo Randomizer. For the weird sprite that's glitch that creates him when you don't get the item from the torch in Ganistown, normally in the Link to Past Randomizer, that glitch doesn't play out in Combo Randomizer, so Bob is always just a regular anti-fairy. And he's just at 10 hours, so we're going to go kill Ice Amos really quick with Silver Hours. And then check out number 19 to 21. So 19, 20 rupees, 20 small key, 21 big key. Almost got the tower. So the closest guess today from a sub or supporter was 13 from Hammer1. Pretty far off guess, but congratulations, Hammer. We did have a guess of 21 from Hip Hop Soul 21, but unfortunately you are not a subscriber or a supporter of any of the Speed Gaming channel, so you were not eligible for our leaderboard today, I'm afraid. But if you're enjoying what you see, do feel free to drop off a subscription with any of his Speed Gaming channels, or donate 250 bits, and then you can enter a big key game next time. So, Solski's making it. Oh, Caracarn's going down to Caracarn. So, we get to say hi to Croc once more. None of the gauntlets proving any issue for Solski. He's done this 100 times before in worse equipment than what he currently has. Gets the extra cycle on land Merlus, but no big deal. Solski doesn't need to kill the Helmosaurus here because he's got plenty of keys, but he's checking the chest to try and find one of the swords he's left behind. He really has forgotten about library at this point. Strange thing is he actually looked in the library much earlier in the race and saw the sword there, but he's just left it behind. So now Solski is at Moldon 2. It's a bit slower than what it could be with the Tempered or the Master. But he's giving Solski a pretty good pattern, and yeah, no trolling today from Moldon 2. Caracarn picks up their very disappointing half magic behind Caracarn. Nice use of hookshot invincibility frames there to let the Helmosaur run straight through him and then be able to dash straight up the middle, avoiding the bumpers and spikes. And now we have Aga 2. Gets a double hit there. Another double. Pretty good. Just a single there. Ganon decides to throw a blue ball just to be annoying. Oh, that was a double. Okay. I think he just got a single there on one for doubles. Caracarn is they're back in criteria. They're going straight to Mother Brain. Unusual because he's still got some items to check out here, like the waterway, for instance. Never did find high jump boots for that matter. Anyway, Solski is now Ganon. What factoid is he going to give us today? Start your day smiling with a delicious whole grain breakfast created for your incredible insights. So Solski is just having to go through these first phases of Ganon with Master Sword spins. Something he's particularly used to, but could be faster. He could have had that with Tempered Sword, so I'm still going to be bugging him about that. Dodging those fire bats with Okay, hardest part of the fight now done now, so Solski just has to do a few more spins to put Ganon into phase 4. Then he's got to spin Ganon to turn him blue, shoot him with silver arrows, light the torch, and he will be done. At least for the first part of his randomizer. So Caracarn is meanwhile having an encounter with a baby Metroid over here, and wonder if he's going to go for the baby skip. Nope, he just gets grabbed straight away. He was damage boosting himself off the side hopper a bit there, but if you really want to go for a quick baby skip using, well, quick baby, not a skip, you would take off your Variant parachute so that he would take more damage, both from walking into the side hopper and getting drained by the baby itself. So down goes Ganon for Solski. Get your single G's in chat for Solski. Just one G, no more, no less. So Caracarn is on their way to Mother Brain, but they are not in go mode. They are just doing Mother Brain because they can. Solski's going to be on his way down there shortly. Now it looks like Caracarn's going for the Z-type skip here, using the Wave Beam and Plasma and Ice Beam to freeze that rink in place, and then use a couple jumps to clip your way past the Z-type there. So he's going to spend a few missiles on breaking Mother Brain to the glass tank here. Some supers for the brain itself. Solski took a random jump in the Terminator room. I think he wanted to jump over the 20 rupees, but didn't quite get it. So Caracarn's just opting to drain their missiles here. Surprisingly going with regular missiles before the supers. Now, Solski has picked up the plasma beam, so that's going to make for a pretty easy Muff Brain for him. I don't believe Caracarn has collected it yet. Our tracker's probably going to yell at me for not keeping a spreadsheet and quite remembering when a plasma beam was. Oh yes, it was in the Burlock side of pod. So Caracarn he's in a good spot with energy here. He's going to run into Mother Brain's leg a few times. Got to be careful with that bomb on the floor. Okay, he's now down to his last energy tank, and he's going to go for the stand-up glitch here. Essentially, you've got to get hit by Mother Brain's rainbow beam once, and then if you're still on enough energy, Samus will stand back up again. You can then just run into Mother Brain to drain your energy below to your last energy tank, which will then trigger the next rainbow beam. And that allows Caracarn to carry out the stand-up glitch, where he can still shoot Mother Brain whilst he's in a kind of dormant state. Now, he's got to be careful here. He still wants to be jumping in the air when the baby Metroid detaches from Mother Brain. Otherwise, he is facing a soft lock. And I think he's got to be in the air when the maybe Metroid latches onto Samus too. So he avoids the soft lock. There's still one more place he could lock up here if he's not careful. And Solski decides to, well, he got drained there. I don't think he removed his suit. I wasn't quite looking. So Caracarn gets a lot more hits on the Mother Brain here. He doesn't have the plasma beam, so it doesn't do as much damage as it could potentially do. Now, he's got to be careful. You don't want to shoot Mother Brain with a charged hyper beam shot, because that is going to lock your game. Yeah, he hangs on for a moment there to avoid shooting, well, charging a actual hyper beam shot. And he's still got quite a lot of hits to do on Mother Brain because no plasma beam. The charged space assaults are quite a bit weaker than having plasma. Meanwhile, Solski is also entering into Mother Brain. I think he frees that ring a bit too early, so he's going to wait a bit. Oh, no, he gets through anyway. Never mind. And Caracarn is making their way through the Mother Brain Naturian escape. I notice he has no timer because most runners will opt to Ganon first before Mother Brain. Caracarn's not in go mode yet. He doesn't have the both to clear up Hazards of Darkness and Links to the Past, so he's just clearing Mother Brain because he can. So when he gets out of Turian, the planet is going to stop exploding. He'll still have the Hyper Beam up until he goes back into Link to the Past or goes into another area in Super Metroid outside of Criterion. But once he gets back into the out of a Turian shaft, the timer is going to, well, the planet's going to stop exploding and he's free to explore at his leisure. Caracarn still hasn't explored all the items in Super Metroid. He's got the waterway in the bottom of Pringlebin Star to do, for example. So he may be checking that to try and find his bow. Right, Solski takes his energy, I think, a bit too low there for the stand-up glitch, so he's just going to get drained here. Yeah, so Samus is immediately going to be just stuck in this position now, and Mother Brain's going to go to the next Rainbow Beam, and the baby Metroid will arrive. So no stand-up glitch for Solski. He was able to get through the first portion of the fight a bit quicker because he has got the Plasma Beam. A combination of all the beams with a charge beam does the most damage to Mother Brain possible. So yeah, Caracarn is out of Turian now, and yep, the planet has stopped exploding, so he's immediately going to lose that Hyper Beam and go back into Link to the Past and wonder, where is that bow? Well, actually, no, he's going back into Super Metroid. So back to regular beam for Caracarn. looks like the plasma beam on Caracarn. I'm pretty sure he didn't check out Bolok's item pod. Maybe he did. Weird. Anyway, Solski is now on the last phase of Mother Brain. Down goes Mother Brain for Solski, and unlike Caracarn, he's going to get a timer because he is essentially finished with the game. He's just got to get back to his ship in time, avoid saving the animals, you never save the animals, and get in the ship, and he will be done. Okay, Caracarn's going for waterway. I reckon he's going to get high jump boots here. Oh, it's a heart container. Okay, yeah, Caracarn was taking the screen transition to Link to the Past to save his game, so that when he goes down to the waterway and finds his nothing, he can just hard reset and go back to the ship in Super Metroid again without losing his Mother Brain kill. Solski wisely chooses to skip the animals. Good man. And he makes it to the ship. So, with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 7 minutes, and 24 seconds, Solski is our winner today. Get your GGs in chat for Solski. We're going to see if we can bring him in for an interview. Solski has been doing quite a bit of talking today already. He was solo commentating the 2:30 race, so we'll see if we can grab info. Okay, Solski is here. He will just be grabbing him in about a minute. Caracarn was checking out... Oh, he's doing the blacksmith chain now. What he's looking for is the bow, so that he can go clear Palace of Darkness, kill Helmasaur, and get up to Ganon's Tower. The bow is in Desert Palace. Caracarn had a few opportunities to check Desert Palace already. He has cleared up Mizumaya, and he could have mirrored straight from Mizumaya and go look in Desert Palace, but he hasn't done that yet. So he's doing the blacksmith chain first. And now we're getting the magic bet on Caracarn's side. Just 20 rupees. I don't think Solski had a powder when he came in earlier, so he didn't check the magic bat. So Caracarn's going to be returning the purple chest to the retired thief here, and he may be choosing to go into Desert Palace after that. Okay, and we have Solski here now for an interview. GG, Solski. I think his mic is playing up. Give us another minute, please. Right. Caracarn is going back into the Maya area. I think they're going to go mirror into Desert Palace from here. So they're going to get their bow shortly. Okay, we have Solski back.
There we go.
Alright, GG, Solski.
Thank you.
So, first question I want to ask you. Library sword. Why did you leave that behind?
Because I forgot about it.
I figured as much. You did. Both of you checked it very early on, as you do in Caracarn,
Yeah.
and you also got the boots pretty early, but you just left it behind. Would have made Ganon's Tower a bit easier, but no big deal.
Yeah, it definitely would have. It would have made a couple bosses easier too. Of course, perfect timing. I actually started getting very ill just before the race too, so still not feeling too great. Head was a little cloudy this race, and I think my execution was kind of lacking too. But we were just able to kind of grind it out. Luckily, we got a really, really well spread out seed. I was actually worried that I was behind once I found Bo, just because of like, if Caracarn maybe like I was talking to him a little bit after the whatever, but I won't release any info obviously. But
He's just picked up his bow this very second on the
Yeah.
stream. So.
yeah, like he mentioned that to me. But again, he
the
just
nature,
had bad breaks.
the nature of his seed being very spread out with the items is that it actually benefited Caracarn very early on. He didn't do stuff like Tower of Hera or clearing out blue and green and pink Brinstar. He chose to skip those and just go straight into other places. So he actually got a 2 crystal advantage over you and was in the really, really good spot up until he went up to Death Mountain. He cleaned out Paradox Cave. He did not go in Spiral Cave at all, and he left that until like hours and hours later to get his Titan Smiths.
Yeah, he mentioned that. That's really unfortunate. Just because, again, Titan's such a pivotal item. Unlocked what it would have unlocked like early Lower Norfair access for sure. My area would have unlocked. I don't really think too much progressively that I remember, but it was more just the ease of travel and better routing really options that would have helped you out with.
Yeah, Caracarn's routing, it took him into Lower Norfair pretty early on, and he got into the Mizumaya, the back door, so he was able to make a dip into there fairly, quite a bit sooner than you, but he didn't feel clear Mizumaya on his first time. He chose to skip out because it was low in health. I think you did the same thing as well, right?
Misery Mire, no, I chose not to do it early on just because of the 2 item variants versus like a lot of other good options. But yeah, no, I didn't skip out on that. But speaking of Lower Norfair, mine was like absolutely bad.
Yeah, I saw you took a
amphitheater. I think I actually got mad at the amphitheater. I was cursing that hitbox while simultaneously cursing the location of Screw Attack. Because if you had Screw Attack, the seat's free. In that spot, like it's so early, and you have Lower Norfair Meridia open to you. Meridia's not too much of a challenge; it's more the Lower Norfair areas of like the Key Hunters and the Gold Space Pirates, especially with that high jump, as you guys saw. I for whatever reason, I just couldn't get above the hitbox, and that hitbox is deceivingly huge. Like, you think it's just the body, it's actually quite a bit more above him. So that's what I was experiencing, and I was just getting quite frustrated that I kept messing that up. But cooler heads prevailed after a lava bath.
My favourite moment seeing you in Lower Norfair was falling down in the big room where you use a space jump and taking a really extended dip in the acid there.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting to, is that I was enjoying my nice calming lava bath to kind of regain myself.
But yeah, you were a noble thrower with the checks in Caracarn, so you weren't really skipping by areas like Caracarn did. For instance, he could have gotten his bow much sooner after dipping out of Mizumaya, because he could have just mirrored from there and gone in Desert Palace and grabbed it, but he left that behind. He spent a while clearing out Pink and Green Brinstar. He actually went down to Waterway in Pink Brinstar after eventually getting the speed boost out of Titansmiths, and only found a hard container there.
Right, that's unfortunate. I was considering Desert really too. I actually, once I got that book really early on, I actually kind of wanted to go there without the boots and maybe key break. I really love key breaking Desert in those kind of scenarios because I don't know what's going to get from it, and sure enough, you would have got the bow, but I think it's kind of better that I didn't, because then I would have meant pod and Eastern full clear for me, so it would have kind of added time to my clock. So I feel like I made the right play skipping on Desert at the time, and I went back at the right time, just because there was a starting limit on my options. But I must say, I was really, really tempted to dip Bola's pod in Eastern for sure before going to Desert. So kind of glad I made that play.
So I bet you're also tempted to think this was a pet seed early on. 3 vanilla pendants in the light one.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of these seeds. So that's why I kind of rushed pedestal into my route, just to make sure, because I wasn't sure obviously where the bow was. Sure enough, it was my go mode, so that kind of helped with how ped was nothing. But yeah, it definitely was weighing on my mind. That's why I wanted to route it in pretty early versus like any more SM stuff, or I guess what else was there available? Anyways, yeah, maybe Dark World stuff. I can't really. I'm having a problem putting together my thoughts right now. Sorry, guys.
So this puts you at 4-0 in the Swiss stages. This is a very, very good spot for you, because essentially if you lose your next game, you've still got a chance of getting into the top 8, depending on how other people win their games. So you may need to play a tiebreaker game, but you're in, nonetheless, a very good spot for getting into the bracket stages. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I think it started with just the round 1 pair up with Zost, and everyone was like, "That's the pairing of death." And luckily, I was on the right side of the coin of that. That was a really close race, where Zost had the upper hand for most of it, and it was just one critical positioning move that I guess he went to a different location than doing purple, or what was it? I think it was Swamp Palace. But anyways, yeah, it's great to be 4-0. I mean, I'm in a good spot where I could get into either tiebreak, where 6 to 7 move on to brackets, or 5-0 for brackets themselves. So I kind of want to go 5-0 just because I do want to commentate that race if I can, but because I think it's gonna be a really, really hype matchup. But again, I'm really happy with my spot and I've been happy with my plays so far.
Great to hear. So we've had quite a few people lose a couple games already, such as Zosti or Elminster. Is there anybody you're particularly hoping to face off against in your next game?
Give me the Aussie Slayer Super Nit Taylor, please. I was calling for Aussie in round 3, but he sniped him for me, so I kind of want to pay him back for that. So I really want a nice little 5-0 match, but I think anyone that's going to be 4-0 is going to be a really good matchup anyways, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Caracarn is finally making their way to Ganon's Town. It was really unfortunate that he skipped off the Spiral Cave for so long. I've seen it in so many races lately. Runners leave behind Spiral Cave. Spiral Cave has a progress item you need. It's a nature of randomizer, really. Sometimes you want to make these gambles and skip items and hope it's going to pay out for you. Paid out early for Caracarn, but eventually it has really decided to bite him.
It's really unfortunate, but shoutouts to Varia being in the Thieves Town Big Chest again. I was actually in the SNT Aussie matchup, and the first thing I said was nice PRNG.
Actually,
I saw that.
In the last race I commented for SMZ3, we had the Varia suit and the Gravity suit both in Mini Moldog Cave, along with a lamp.
That's crazy. And I'd be lying if, again, just thinking about PRNG, that I went right side for that reason. But again, it's just kind of a funny coincidence that it happened in both games. Not that it really mattered. I don't think it really led to anything too much except for a route. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty funny, I thought.
One other thing that he hadn't checked, which Caracarn did check, he actually dipped into Eastern Paris quite early on, and he actually found his second sword there, so he's currently running around with a gold sword right now.
Oh, that's fantastic. I was actually wondering where the swords were. I was like, how did I manage to miss them? And as you pointed out, there's one at the library, which I'm actually very happy it was a sword, because if that was progression, well, rip me, because I probably would have never remembered to go back there. So, again, just very fortunate for that. But it's kind of interesting that they're in those two spots. I was thinking maybe the speed lock locations or the gravity lock locations. That I left behind, like, what was it, Shack Tool or Plasma. And the other one I was worried about was Wreck Ship.
Ooh,
I was
yes.
so mad about that too. Shoutouts to getting the bomb jump 4 times, but not getting the height for some reason. I think my bomb was just a little too low off the water, and it was getting really frustrating. I made it
Actually,
4 times and I didn't get the height.
Wreck Ship is kind of where it started getting all wrong for Caracarn, because when he was checking out the items above the sea, he got that hammer pretty easily, and he got the fairy in the bottle. But after that, for some reason, he took the lower morph ball passage and dipped out of Wreck Ship and fell into the area below. So he didn't check out the gravity suit area, and he came back. He came to check that much later in the siege, thinking, "Where's that bow? Where's that bow?" And it wasn't there, of course.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Obviously, he didn't have the Titan Smiths or the speed booster at that time, so he couldn't even get the screw attack on this way.
Yeah, again, I told Caracarn too. I was super tempted to kind of go for that screw attack because I did have that one other location left in Wreck Ship. But as I was thinking about it, going to Lower Norfair, the math just didn't make sense for me to just go out of my way for that one item. Primarily because I'd go all the way to Sponge Bath. If it's nothing, I'm resetting, and I gotta go through Bowling Alley. I gotta go through like 3 minutes of Wreck Ship to get back to that screw attack on top of another 2-minute commitment to get the sponge. So I really didn't want to kind of go through that again. So again, just a very tragic location for it. It would have made the seed a lot more. Dare I say, I don't want to say enjoyable, but a lot more free, I guess, is probably a better way to say it.
Only a couple of items have been missing from both your sides, namely the spring ball and the high jump boost. We've got no idea where they are.
Yeah, they were missing too. I have no idea. I didn't have that much left. I did have Eastern left, but if Caracarn did it and didn't find anything, that's kind of scratching that out. Pod, I think maybe that one chest in the Dark Maze plus the big chest. And like I said, like Shack Tool Plasma. I'm not sure if these other ones were checked. So, yeah.
All things considered, though, you finished this seed with a 3 hour 7 minutes time, and considering how spread out the seed was and all the back and forth you had to do trying to find the items you needed, that is an extremely respectable time for the combo randomizer. A lot of our seeds have been going over 4 hours or even 5 hours in some cases, and we've only had a couple of runners have gone sub 3, so 3-7 is still an extremely good time.
Yeah, I agree. I felt pretty comfy once I hit go where my time was, because the first thing I thought about was where all the items were. And that's kind of my, I guess I kind of math out or time where I think other runners might be as opposed to me. And how I kind of decided to go about the seed. And I felt pretty comfy. I knew there was a chance that I might be a little behind when I ran into Bo, just because, again, Desert can or can't be free depending on when you decide to do it. But as you said, it was so spread out. It really was hard to kind of put together a really lucky route. You had to kind of earn your time in this one.
So yeah, GG again. Caracarn is currently making his way up Ganon's Tower. Did you want to stick around and talk with him about it? Because I think he's going to be finished in about 6 or 7 minutes or so. He's going to go into Ganon very well equipped.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm actually got the restream up now. I can definitely see his gear is nice. I'm a little jealous of that butter sword, I have to admit, but that's okay.
misses the Caracarn misses the one cycle and the Riz robes in that room, but he actually didn't pick up half magic, and that was he did go down there looking for the bow, and he saw the half magic behind Crocomire, but he hard reset because nothing behind Crocomire, and he didn't want to take the time to walk back and keep that half magic. So he's making his way to Moldom 2 now, and he's not checking any of the same chests that you did, hoping for that last sword, because he's got that last sword.
Yeah, that was definitely a play for it. I think it's always worth looking for tempered. And don't even ask me about hovering because I did not feel good about my hovers today. I had a seed before I commentated, just testing some MSU stuff, and hovers were just out of the cards. So it was beneficial because, again, I was still looking for another sword just to make Ganon a little bit faster. So shout outs to that. Unfortunately, again, as we all know where the swords are, it didn't work out for us.
Caracarn's at Aga 2 now. One other thing I saw on your Aga 2 fight, it looks like he got a 2 doubles and 2 singles, but that wasn't enough to finish off Ganon, so apparently one of your doubles was actually a single.
It was very, very close, but I kind of picked up on that too. I was like, it's probably a single. And the way you can kind of tell is like his flashing in his iframes, and it just looked like it was in the hitbox way too early for me. So that's why I kind of set up for I was going to be another double, but we unfortunately missed out a little bit. Patterns are awfully generous though. I was a big fan of them.
So obviously you've got a lot of experience in Link to Past Randomizer, so Master Sword strats against Ganon were no real problem for you, but Caracarn's cutting his way through just a gold sword.
I wasn't a big fan of the Phase 4 though, just because his warps were getting really off-putting on positioning for like doubles or triples with the Master Sword. It is always kind of tricky, and I was hoping to get Torch Glitch with the Fire Rod to kind of position himself really close to the bottom of the floor, so I could have done a triple or a double, and he just wouldn't cooperate today. So yeah, I see he's having a much smoother fight. that kind of illustrates the difference between Master Sword and Mutter, really, or even Tempered. It's just so much faster.
You actually got a hit in there that you would normally do in Silver Arrowsless races.
No, I saw that, the frame perfect one. So that's similar to the timing required for Swordless Links of the Past. That's basically the timing you would want to hit if you want to try and go for Silverless. Very, very rare.
Still, Caracarn gets a nice Ganon kill there, and he finishes in second place with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 29 minutes, and 40 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for Caracarn. Whee! He's actually going into Tyrion at the same time as you were, Solski. He actually dipped in there a bit early because he couldn't find that bow and he just wants to get it out of the way, so going to get the alternate credits from him now.
Yo, nice.
I see him in the setup channel. Let's drag him in. Okay, GG Caracarn.
Thank you. GG Solski.
Yo, good game.
So yeah, my routing was pretty terrible in that. I guess the moral is don't skip stuff.
Well, actually, the nature of you skipping stuff gave you a pretty big advantage early on. You gained 2 crystals and the boss ahead of Solski really early, and if you had just gone into Spiral Cave and gotten those Titan Smiths, you would probably kept that advantage.
Not getting that Titan Mitts, I just hit a wall. There's just so much. There were so many options. Too many options. With getting Gravity and Varia, and the Hammer, and the Moon Pearl. There's just all these options, but none of them led where I wanted them to. And all the stuff that I skipped to save time early, I ended up losing that time anyway, having to go back for it, and then not getting anything anyway.
We saw you go out of your way to make a few checks that Solski didn't make. He was quite a bit more thorough with his checks, so he managed to get those Titan Smiths a lot earlier than you, and that allowed him to get the advantage over you. But for quite some time there, you were actually well ahead of Solski. And just like I was saying earlier to Solski, it's a native randomizer. Sometimes you want to make these gambles and try to do maybe some unorthodox routing or skip a few items that you want to gamble on not being anything there, and it did pay off for you pretty early. Just fortunately you fell apart at Spiral Cave, but that's the nature of things.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt like. I felt like I was actually doing pretty well at the beginning, and then after about an hour of looking for Titan Mitts, I was like, okay, I'm losing it. And as soon as I found the Titan Mitts, as soon as I found where they were, not just the fact that I found them so late, but the fact that they were in that spot. And the thing is, I probably wouldn't have skipped it if I had had boots at the time. Because I don't think I had... Yeah, I didn't have boots yet when I checked that. So I didn't want to walk through Spiral Cave. That was why.
So this takes you down to 3-1 in the tournament. It's still a pretty good spot to be in. You have to win your next race if you want to be in with a chance for getting into the tiebreakers. But you've been putting forth a pretty good show so far. Who are you looking forward to facing in your next race?
No one. That 3-1 bracket is pretty stacked.
Yeah, I think I spotted Solski over there, and Elminster, and quite a few other notorious names.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get drawn against Elminster again, but yeah, Zost, Elminster, Ose, Andy, probably. Andy might not have won his third match. But probably Andy, probably Ivan. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of heavy hitters in that 3-1 group.
So I think we're going to be wrapping up things here pretty shortly. We've got a Link to the Past randomizer tournament race starting here very shortly on this channel. Do you guys have any final thoughts about the race?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I think we shall leave things off here for today. So yeah, coming up here on Speed Gaming 2 is Bruce Fan JP versus Jack Harris. I think it's their second game in the full tournament. And for the combo randomizer tournament, tomorrow on the main Speed Gaming channel, we have Sinus versus Janus Zeal. On Speed Gaming 2, Evil Sparky versus Andy. And those are both promising to be pretty good races, so please do check them out tomorrow. Anyway, I have been Revolving Ocelots, your commentator for tonight. I was joined early on by Zelnus, but he unfortunately had to leave, so give your thanks to Zelnus as well for the help he was able to contribute. Thank you for joining us tonight, Speed Gaming fans, and I wish you all a good night.